So when it comes to these conspiracy events, I generally don't look into the details of them because two reasons. I know I'm never going to really know the truth. And two, I know when it comes to the official narrative, I know they're lying. Occasionally if I'm interested in something or I need to, like right now for the script for Crazy Eddie, I'm looking into, unfortunately, satanic child trafficking networks and their connection to intelligence or unintelligence, as I call it. When I look at these types of things, I always end up with the same conclusion that our overseers are wicked and evil in ways that most people can't even imagine. There's no bottom with these people. So I try to stay away from that stuff just because I know from 30,000 feet up, I know that we are ruled over by people that are wicked beyond imagination, especially when you start looking into some of this stuff with the child trafficking and the satanic networks. I mean, it's hard to believe that this exists in the world. And it's hard to believe that the people that are in power are so embedded into this. But so when the Epstein drops happened, I didn't, I saw kind of the main things that were on the internet, but I didn't really look into it because I know that, I'm never going to get to the bottom of it. Supposedly there's 3 million emails they dropped, and supposedly that's only 3% of what they have, 33. You've got all kinds of redactions all over the place and the stuff that they actually did drop, which leads to all kinds of, misinterpretations. And, it's just a information flooding psyop to overwhelm everyone and paralyze any meaningful investigation into what actually happened. And, with those things, I know that I hear a lot of people say that the child stuff is the least of our worries, that he's doing so many other terrible things. He is doing so many other terrible things. But to me, at the end of the day, the child stuff is still the worst thing, because with these demonic entities, these demonic organizations, these demonic people, defiling the innocent is their favorite activity. And, but, again, I kind of avoided the Epstein thing just because I just thought, what am I going to, like I said, I saw the top layer stuff and said, okay, I know that there's evil stuff going on. I know that we're ruled over by terrible, evil, wicked, stupid people. So, but that said, my guest today is a man named Sam Chaney, and his outfit is Weaponized News. Sam Chaney from Weaponized News. And when I wrote, I don't usually have news guys on a lot of times, or I haven't had a lot of news guys on. And when I reached out to him, I wanted to get a news guy on, and I was like, well, what should we talk about? And Sam had created this 95-page file. What do you call this? PDF, which is a funny, ironic term because it's about PDFs. But it's a 95-page PDF where it's basically a cliff notes of all the most prominent elements of the drop. We went through every single page of this. And if you're listening to the podcast and you're not watching, don't worry, because we read it. And we also described the images in the file. So you should be fine if you're listening to it. It should still be a great show. But we went through every single page, damn near 3 hours of this. Sam was incredibly generous with his time. And it's basically like a deep dive cliff notes of the Epstein files, of what we have so far, of all the main, most prominent elements of the drop, like I think I said. It's a great show. Sam is more like if it walks like a duck, walks like a duck, talks like a duck. It is a duck. I'm more like if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck. Could be a duck, Might be a duck. I need a little more information, but probably a duck. Might be a duck. But you'll watch the show and listen to what we have, and if you want, you can go on your own and go down a rabbit hole with it. You can decide what you believe and you don't believe with what we present here. But this is a good start, and it could be the end for you. Just you see what you need to see. But like I said, it's a very deep dive, but of the cliff notes. I mean, like I said, it's 3 million emails apparently. All right. So before we get started, if you're new here, you haven't been here before, go check out the indie feature film cult classic Jones Plantation. That's at jonesplantationfilm.com. That's jonesplantationfilm.com. Or you can watch it on most of the major platforms. And once you're done with that, if you're still interested, you can check out the follow-up film Barnum World, which is available on my YouTube and Rumble channels right now. It'll be on more soon. I know I keep saying that, but I've got to get the trailer done for that before I can give it to the aggregator to get it out to like Amazon and all that stuff. But for now, it's on my channels, Drew TV and Rumble and YouTube. And if you go to drewmedia.studio, drewmedia.studio, and all these links will be in the show notes. I have it basically set up right now like a link tree. So it has all the links to my work. You can find everything there. And with that, let's get this episode of the Drew Treglia Show, episode 39, with Sam Chaney from Weaponized News. Let's go.
Insanity is what I call society. Don't tell me what to do, don't tell me how to be. I don't trust the government, I know they lie to me. They could like my body, yo, for my soul and mind to free.
All right. This is going to be an interesting one, man. I've got a great guest, Sam Chaney from weaponizednews.com. Is it .com?
Yeah, .com. Yeah, that's my website.
Can you tell the people, I usually like to head the show up and kind of tell people where they can find you. And of course, I'll put all of your links in the show notes for the delight of the audience before we get going here.
Weaponized News.
Dark rabbit hole.
I'm streaming live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern on all of your tech platforms until they ban me again. I was kicked off the internet for being correct about the fake bat times and the fake miracles that they were giving everybody. I still speak a lot in code. And I'm here to say we love the government, Drew.
Oh, I'm right with you, man. I would never advocate for violence. I safe and effective. Your vote is your voice. We got to bring the country together. You name it, buddy. I'm with you right there. But along those lines, this is going to be an interesting one because.
Let me preface this as Drew was saying that when this stuff first broke back in February, I did two shows with William Ramsey's Investigates.
Yes.
And we went over this document, and he had his own documents. And so everybody should go look at those deep dives as well, because there's so many dots to connect and so much going on here with the Epstein files that it's, the DOJ right now is covering it up. It's the biggest cover up in American history.
Yeah. And first of all, I'm really glad to have you on. It's rare I get somebody, like a real serious investigative journalist like you on. So we're going to do a deep dive into these Epstein files. And the scam is that it's just, they're just 16-year-old kids and it was da-da-da-da-da. And it's way, 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 way darker than that, isn't it?
It's way darker than that. And they went ahead and the narrative that Trump didn't know anything about it. But when he found out, he turned in Epstein to Palm Beach police. Total BS. From my research, it looks like Trump's been part of this the whole time, all the way back to his mentor, Roy Cohen. And they were using Trump hotels and Trump beauty pageants as part of this whole giant trafficking ring.
In your opinion, is Trump a homosexual? Or bisexual?
Yes.
I agree.
I believe he'll do whatever. All these freaks are in the dark occult, and they'll literally do whatever. Men, women, children, animals, you name it, robots. Like anything goes with these maniacs.
He's not crazy, people. I just finished, and can't believe I hadn't read this yet. well, I hadn't finished. I'm about 3/4 of the way through of Program to Kill. I'm sure you've read that book by Dave McGowan.
I've not read it. I'm familiar with it though. Yeah, creating the Manchurian candidates. Yeah.
Well, he goes into these occult groups. It starts off with all these crazy child pedophile rings, but it's not just pedophilia. I mean, it is evil. That's
but
kind
the
of
reason. The reason why they're doing all this is fear-based, trauma-based mind control is why they're doing. They also get off because they're weird perverts, but the main reason is to create these programmable mind control slaves.
Well, that's what the CIA and the FBI and all these dark occult these agencies do. But the people themselves, a lot of them are just dark satanic. Yeah, I agree with you. It's so, man, this book is like, so if people that don't, if you're a listener more than a reader, it's free to listen to on YouTube. Prepare yourself. We're talking about infant babies and just the most awful things. And then the cover-ups. When you listen to this book, you will immediately understand. And if you didn't already know, you're not just ruled over by nasty, stupid, wicked people. Like, this is dark, satanic, occult behavior. It's a metaphysical situation.
It's not just run-of-the-mill corrupt politicians that are stealing a little bit of money here and there. We're talking about pure evil.
Right. Yeah, and it's...
Let me add to that, Drew. Also, everybody should look up the work of Fritz Springmeier, where he has books of... what's the name? How to create a undetectable mind control slave, something like that, and 13 Bloodlines of Illuminati. He did a lot of early research and work about this, working with victims that were part of this whole system, trying to deprogram them from the mind control that they're under.
Well, let me give you my 2 cents understanding of this. So basically, the basic gist of it is, when you're a child and you're innocent and beautiful, what they do is if you can't fight and you can't flight. Most of us, if we have a situation, we fight or flight. They can't do either. So what they do is they escape into they create another personality, basically. They escape the situation that they're actually in. They remove themselves consciously. And so what these dark agencies have realized is they can take that person, create massive trauma when they're really young, and then control that alternate consciousness that they create for themselves.
They're programming multiple personas, creating split personalities to where the person doesn't even know. One personality may be a baseball player. Another personality may be a killer. The next one, a prostitute. They've fine-tuned the science of mind control in that way.
It's hard for people to wrap their head around, but it's real. That's the thing, that it's like,
I believe it's a vicious cycle, and many of the abusers are also victims. And so they continue the abuse through being an abuser, but they are also a victim of that same abuse as part of this whole dark occultic satanic system.
100%. It's just like if you're what I went through. Like, my parents used to beat the shit out of me when I was a kid because they were beaten when they were kids.
There you go. Now you beat the shit out of your kid, right?
I don't do that now. I don't.
Come on, you're breaking the cycle, Drew.
I broke the cycle. For sure. Now, I had kids later in life. Now, if I had kids when I was young, and you'd ask me in my 20s and 30s, should you hit your kids? I'm like, oh yeah, hit your kids. You gotta keep in line, hit your kids. And then I was a little older and wiser, and I had my kid, and I remember looking at her when she was young going, this thing is tiny. I'm not hitting this. This is idiotic. It's also lazy, but it's the same type of thing. You know, it's the cycle of abuse, correct?
They're born in, a lot of these are bloodline families as well. They're born into it. They don't have any, they don't know a different world, right? That's the world they're born into.
Right. Okay, so here we are. We've got your research on the Epstein. Do you have a name for this PDF we're about to go through?
The painting here that we first see was released in the Epstein files. Everybody could find all of these documents on the DOJ Epstein files website. I think it's like the second page in this document. But this painting is called the Massacre of the Innocents, and this is by a French painter from 1628, Nicolas Poussin, and it depicts actually the gospel, Matthew 2:16 to 18, where King Herod, fearing Jesus, orders the slaughter of all male infants in Bethlehem 2 years old or under, and that's
right.
what this painting depicts.
What's the context? Why does he have it? What do you take from it?
Well, showing the power, and we'll get into he's an aardvark supremacist. I don't like to say the Jew word, the J word, because due to censorship, so I don't say it. But
yeah,
it's just showing his power, I believe, and intimidation for those that know what this painting is, and just reveling in the massacre of the innocents.
What says Jeffrey is asking, should we read this? If you can FedEx the painting you made of the killing babies.
Yeah.
It says, it's the large 9x9 canvas that we had rolled out for him to see in the entryway where they are killing babies. That's a weird thing to say in an email, isn't it?
You think?
He wants to use it on the ranch and is hoping you could FedEx it to arrive by Wednesday. That's a weird... It doesn't say the killing of innocents. It doesn't say anything about the context. It just says, it's the large 9x9 canvas that we had rolled out for him to see in the entryway where they are killing babies. Wow, that's weird. All right, should we go to the next slide?
Go for it.
Is this did you cobble this together? Do you have a name for this PDF? Can people find it anywhere or just?
I haven't published it. Like I said, I did a whole show with William Ramsey's Investigates exactly on this document. Okay. But yeah, it's just when it first broke, I was grabbing all of the information as fast as I could because it was coming fast and furious out when it first broke. And this is what I compiled together and put it in some type of way to tell a story to illustrate all of this dark occultic satanic behavior going on there.
All right, what's your world I'm living in? You just tell me when I should move forward and what you want to talk about in each one.
Sure. Right here is, and I cite as much as I possibly can, so nobody could say that we're just making stuff up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I cite my sources, but right there is where you can start your search. Anybody can go there today and look up old Epstein. You see, I put Rothschild in there. Rothschild's mentioned in the Epstein files. You can see over 12,000 times.
Everybody thinks the Rothschild thing is just like, this.
No, he says in there, I've come to the conclusion, Drew, that Epstein was a Rothschild super spy working above government. And he's not just trafficking children. You name the contraband, drugs, guns, money, children, you name the contraband. This guy's into it as a Rothschild super spy, literally above all government.
Why did they pick him? How did he end up in this situation?
Well, it's part of their aardvark. That's my J word code word, aardvark supremacy. We get into it in this document. They are extreme supremacists. They hate the Goyim, you and I, everybody else that's not in their club, which is aardvark supremacism.
There's a stand-up called Jew. It's by a guy named Ari Shafir who has left the cult completely, and it's pretty brilliant. But he has a joke where he says it's the only group that their racial slur covers the entire human race, 99%. And he goes, it's goy, and it just means he's like, we're Jewish, and everybody else is kind of like, ugh. So what Zorro Trust? You've got something underlined down here. You want to talk about it?
Zorro Trust. Well, Epstein's Trust, Zorro Trust, won the New Mexico State lottery.
Oh, that's right. This is important. Yeah. He won the lottery.
$80 million. They won the lottery. It was just all a big coincidence, and they're real lucky lottery players.
That's crazy. Just so his Zorro Trust won the Mexico lottery for $80 million. Do we know what he did with the money?
We don't know. We have a little bit of his finances in here.
All right, well, let's keep going. Should we keep going?
Yeah.
What's on here? Anything interesting?
But the problem with this stuff is there's allegations of victims reporting to the police, to the FBI, the cops, all this, and they literally ignore it. And so they can say, well, that was just a claim made by a crazy person because an investigation was never followed up upon these crazy claims that appear to be, saying they were abused in all kind of different ways. And so here's one of those examples of the early investigations there in West Palm Beach. You could see
young kids. One of the things that they do is especially when they go way younger, is they get them obviously addicted to drugs. They do a lot of drugs. And then when they age out, they just throw them on the street. So they become like homeless drug addicts. And so then their testimony becomes completely, they kookify them because that's just some loser, some junkie loser.
Or they don't even investigate. You could have credible testimony, and the FBI's, wow, they did all this murder, rape, killed. They throw it in the garbage. They're like, yeah, we know because we're here to cover it up.
That's right. That's what Program to Kill is all about. All right. Okay, what do we got here?
This is a crazy where this film director was researching a really bad guy that gets children for sex sent to his island, and turns out it was actually Epstein. Epstein told her that person is me when she was trying to investigate for a documentary film. Your friend told me about the project she was doing, researching a really bad guy that gets children for sex sent to his island. She almost fainted when I told her that person is me. This is 6 months before his arrest, and you'd see the documentation there on the case file.
Alizea is film director. She's working on a human rights VR movie. Oh, wow. Yeah, he was brazen he kind of felt like he was untouchable.
He was.
Do you think, is he still alive, in your opinion?
Is he still alive? No, I think they whacked him.
Do they?
I think so. I think Trump had him whacked, actually, when he was in federal prison.
Did you see the Marjorie?
I don't think he killed himself. I think they had him whacked.
I don't think he hung himself from a bed that's shorter than he is either.
But I think he was whacked in there by another inmate or maybe a prison guard. Take your pick.
Well, did you see his inmate?
Yeah, the dude they put him in there with hated Epstein type dudes, right? He was an ex-corrupt cop. So
he was a gigantic Italian mafia gorilla who was a cop who was working for the mob.
Yeah,
I mean, if you made
that
like
guy could break your
Kumar
neck, right? He was a muscle bound, strong dude, so he could break your neck with his hands.
I was like out of central casting. Like if you did a new Harold and Kumar and they went to prison, that would be the guy who'd be your roommate before you're about to get raped. It's ridiculous. He's enormous. What's that?
I feel like they created the environment for him to be killed in that jail or in that prison.
It's hard to say. Yeah, I mean, he definitely didn't kill himself. And that ridiculous show that Bongino put on, we're working on the footage and we're putting the footage together. Like, we're cleaning up the footage. Like, what are you talking about? I work in this business. I could do some color correction. It's shitty surveillance footage. You can do a little color correction and release it. There's nobody working on it. They're preparing it or something. They're preparing the product is what he said, which is like, okay, so you're going to sell us something.
Bongino also said you make a zero like this. So, I mean,
I don't, the Illuminati symbol, he made a zero. Where did he say that?
He's on video. I don't know, ranting about something. He says 0, and he puts his hands up like that. I'm like, bro, that's not how you make a 0, but okay.
Yeah, it's all right. So we got a picture of there's a picture here of a bunch of screens.
This is surveillance station at Epstein's New York estate, I believe. And so this is begging the question, where is all of this blackmail material? Because there was a narrative out there for a minute in the mainstream. Oh, there's nothing. But here you see they clearly had it all set up to be monitoring all of these hidden cameras all over the place to catch people in blackmailable acts.
We've got,
and this is one of the monitoring stations for the security camera setup at his estate.
It's interesting because, like, I've heard people that would know, like Tucker Carlson or Milo Yiannopoulos, whatever you think of those people, doesn't matter. Talk about how everybody in DC now is homosexual, and particularly the Republicans.
It's all fake and gay. Yeah,
it's all fake and gay. It's all fake and gay. But this is
Let me ask you this, Drew. Would you rather have your gays be in the closet or be out in the open?
Closet.
Really? I'd rather have them be out in the open, because and then at least you know who they are, where they're coming from. All this closeted behavior is just even more creepy, especially when they're like married to a woman and now they have a beard and they're doing all this weird.
Oh no! When you're talking about, let me explain what I meant there, because I don't think people should be like pretending like they're straight and then have all this dark shit going on underneath. That's not what I mean. I just mean this transgender, homosexual, mind control, brainwashing, psychological programming program they're running on the children now. All this degeneracy and subversion. Mm-hmm. That needs to go away. And we need to, it doesn't mean we got to go back to beating up gay people. That's not what I mean. But I mean, there should be, if I was the king, I would have, every town would have a part of town that is for that, where they can have their bars and go down there and do their thing. But just keep
I'm libertarian about it. Leave the kids alone and don't have a secret life while you're running my government, allegedly representing me.
Sam, couple decades ago, when I first got out of college, I was friends with one of our professors who turned out to be gay.
I do believe sodomy is a sin as well.
Well, hold on, let me just tell you. So the guy turned out to be gay, and I was back in Pittsburgh. We were just buddies, and he came through Pittsburgh, and we like went out and had a couple drinks or whatever. And he brought up. You didn't
know up front he was attracted.
No, I knew. I was friends with him, so I knew he was gay.
You already knew.
Yeah, I knew he was gay, and he knew I wasn't, so it was fine, and he was cool. He said I wouldn't wish this lifestyle upon anybody.
You didn't feel like beating him up at any time?
Not for being gay. But he had 2 books, and it was My Two Dads and My Two Moms, and he was going around Pennsylvania to school board meetings, and he was telling me, they're trying to make your kids gay, they're going to try to convert your kids, they're going to bring in this other stuff, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever, old man, whatever, you're being paranoid. Because I was like, Johnny 90s, open-minded guy. And he wasn't just right, he underestimated what was going to happen. What I'm saying is he was
out there as a gay man blowing the whistle saying this ain't right for the kids. Well, that's because gay then, right?
That's right. He's a gay man with integrity, a righteous gay man. And I'm saying those need to be the people that lead that group. And that needs to be, he understood. He's like, this should not be for kids. If you, this, I wouldn't wish this on anybody, but it is what it is. I am who I am. I'm not going to hate myself, and you shouldn't, if you believe in God, God created him that way. But anytime you let these degeneracy things out, it's just, you get the most demonic things happen. And that's where we're at. So when I say in the closet, I didn't necessarily mean that people should, I definitely didn't mean people should be like having these secret degenerate lives and marrying children and marrying and having kids. And then secretly they're fucking pedophiles. I'm just saying that the situation we have now with this homosexual and transgender so-called programming it's not sustainable. It's a societal destroying situation that we're in. What are your thoughts?
Part of a bigger
That's right.
depopulation agenda.
That's right. And transhumanism and all this other horse shit. All right, next slide. Well, we got a lot going on here. What's happening?
Well, this is all the blackmail material where it is. FBI found 14.6 terabytes of archived data. And so where is all of that? It's the blackmail material. The FBI has it. The DOJ has it right now. And this just explains it. Like the 14.6 terabytes of archived data is a lot of freaking video. It's probably mostly video. I'm sure there's still images, but that is the blackmail data that Epstein compiled on all the people that he was trying to get under his control through blackmail.
And of course they're involved, so they can't have this information get out. And like I said, I think Marjorie Taylor Greene cannot be trusted, but she was in an interview. She said that Trump contacted her, was screaming at her and told her that I cannot release these files or let this stuff out because a lot of our friends are going to get hurt. When he was going and saying it was some sort of Democratic hoax and gaslighting the I call him Rabbi Rugpool. That's my nickname for Trump. So when Rabbi Rugpool was out there saying there was a Democratic hoax, and it was just insanity, the gaslighting. It's mind-boggling to me that people still think this guy's on their side. After that, I just don't know. At that point, there's nothing you can be shown that will change your mind. You're actually an NPC. You cannot change your mind. 14. So they've got 14.6 terabytes hidden. Okay. All right. So here we go. What's this? It's a little small. France had, you read it.
France had Epstein's entire email account for 6 years and said nothing. So French police knew because they're all part of a larger global network. They never told anybody, but you could see right there documenting it that they did indeed have it in 2019 during a search at his Paris apartment.
Is it the global cult or they know that if it gets out, it could literally, the wheels could come off for them, or is it both?
Probably a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. But people have to understand they owe their allegiance to their cult, not to you and I, to the public, to the people they supposedly work for as public servants. That's a myth, right? They have higher interest they serve, which is not you and I, even though our tax money allegedly pays their paycheck.
What is this document, FBI document here?
This is an example of some of this horrific abuse that it's a FBI intake form where a victim went and told the FBI and they never followed up on the investigation. So they can discredit it and say, well, that was just one of these crazy people, right?
It's always one of these crazy people, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What was the claim here without having to read the whole thing?
Just abuse in there.
Okay, yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I'll keep going. More of that, more of the same here?
I think the next one too, yeah. Oh, this one mentions Trump. Go back to it.
Oh, okay.
This one mentions Trump. Reported some of the things Trump had spoken about during the ride. Well, his cell phone. Oh, this is talking about.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
In the back of a limo with Trump. One of the victims.
Oh, during his time as a driver, he had met Donald Trump. Picked up the president in 1995 and took him to the DFW airport. Reported some of things President Trump had spoken about during the ride while on his cell phone were very concerning. He was a few seconds from pulling the limousine over on the median and within a few seconds of pulling him out of the car and hurting him due to some of the things he was saying. Whoa, what is that? Noted Trump continuously stated the name Jeffrey while on the phone and made references to abusing some girl. So he was saying some stuff that was so nasty that the limo driver was about to pull the car over and kick his ass. That's basically what he's saying.
Pretty much, yeah. And reported it to the FBI, and the FBI laughed and didn't follow up, investigate about it. Essentially.
Oh my God. Donald Trump raped me.
He raped us all metaphorically, but I believe he did physically rape those victims.
Yeah. I mean, when you see how the opposite of what he's done compared to what he said, I mean, I knew he was never going to do what he said he was going to do, but I didn't foresee coming what an unbelievable traitorous piece of shit he actually is. I didn't know he was this bad. When you see that, there's really no bottom with the guy. You know what I mean?
He's an actor. He's a professional wrestler. It's all fake.
It's all fake and gay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What do we got here?
Epstein, a little bit about his finances. Epstein's full bank account breakdown, over $101 million, and it shows you all his different accounts that we know about through the Epstein files.
He had Hayes Trust, Deutsche Bank, named things like Gratitude America Limited, Great Saint Jim LLC, and Little St. James. Oh my God!
And the banks, and again, the banks. This speaks to corruption of the big banks. They all knew what's going on with the money laundering, and they all looked the other way. They paid fines, and that's it. No, back to the banks. No executive at a bank ever gets in trouble for anything. And they're money laundering millions and millions of dollars for this Epstein contraband trafficking network.
Oh, yeah.
They know damn well that this is dirty money going through there at Deutsche Bank and all these other JP Morgan Chase, and no banker ever gets in trouble. They need to be held accountable as well.
You know, the problem is who's going to hold them accountable. We've investigated ourselves and we found we did nothing wrong. That's all you ever get. All right, so here we go. What do we got here?
A document claims Epstein once worked for the U.S. government as a financial bounty hunter and maintained significant political connections with both Aardvark land and the United States. Individuals with significant knowledge. That's a former Prime Minister, Edmund Barak, yeah, and
Ehud Barak.
Yeah, Les Wexner, George Mitchell, I believe, Bill Richardson, former governor of New Mexico, and of course Bill Clinton. It depends on what your definition of is, and Doug Band as well. Clinton campaign something anyway. Clinton assistant Doug Band.
Well, Wexner's is an Israel mafia, is an Israel gangster, and Bill Richardson got busted for pedophilia. Did he not? Bill Richardson, he's out of New Mexico. He was a governor in New Mexico.
I think he's dead now, actually, but
I think he went away for that, or he got caught, or they decided to tell people about what they already knew he was doing. That's usually what happens. They give somebody up.
So this is the claim that Epstein was a financial bounty hunter for working for the U.S. government.
So those are those guys. That guy wrote that book. What was that called? The one about doing this, where you go there and you purposely give. Oh man, there's a name of it. I can't think of it. Where you go and just basically take over people's economies.
Yeah, the economic hitman, John.
Yeah, economic hitman. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you got it. That's right. That's what he's talking about there. He's basically doing that stuff.
Kind of.
Who knows?
It's all redacted. You see all the. It's redacted big time.
Look at that. It's like half the page is black lines.
Mm-hmm.
And then what percent? They put out like 3% of the actual stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. They're still covering it up.
They just dumped it, so it would just cause so much confusion and mess, and they could kookify.
Information
things.
Overload is what they did.
That's right. Okay, so what do we got here?
Right here, Mr. Transhuman Peter Thiel, Epstein's 2016 email to Peter Thiel. I rep the Rothschilds, like straight up, right? So he's a Rothschild agent. Let's meet in Saudi Arabia. Emails Peter Thiel claiming he represented the Rothschilds and wants to hook Thiel up with the bank that has 160 management, calling it the world's best client list, but struck with prehistoric
product. Yeah, it needs tech upgrades.
Mm-hmm. He invites Steele to meet in Saudi Arabia.
Then swing by the island.
Mm-hmm.
I meet with her. What was he saying about the 160? What does that mean? Is that 160?
Management. I don't know.
160 under management. Who knows? Probably billion or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Teal, he reps the Rothschilds. He's going to meet Teal in Saudi Arabia, of all places. That's a weird one. And they're going to swing by the island. Got it. Uh-oh.
Nearly 100 Epstein victims identified in the documents released. Files now removed. They played this game on the first day. The Department of Justice played this game where they released a bunch and then redacted them back. Like literally pulled the documents off. So they're playing this game back and forth about, oh, that's not a real document. It's like, no, you guys released it and then deleted it so you can play this game. They were forced through a bunch of pressure to put the documents they had released and then removed back up again.
And we've got a photo here of him on a helicopter with a younger girl, like 16. I mean, he's a creepy, looks like he's about 58, 59 here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it, man.
They doxed the victims here. It talks about victims' names, faces, email addresses, nude photos, and banking details were released by the Department of Justice in these files. And this speaks to the fact they're full of shit, claiming that they can't release all of the files because they care about the victims. Bro, the DOJ, you guys doxed the victims with literal naked photos of them to that level of doxing.
So they don't give a fuck about the victims, is your point. The excuse of them not releasing the files to protect the victims is obviously 100% complete and total horse shit. Legal Man calls it the 179 Club. Everything they say is the opposite of the truth.
The DOJ blamed technical or human error and pulled thousands of files to fix the redactions before putting them back up. And so for a couple of days, they played this game of that's not an Epstein file document. You're a crazy person. It's like, you assholes released it in the first place. You know?
Are we going to get into his dentist office in here?
Yeah, that's in this document.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll hold off. And we got here.
A document from Epstein files allegedly shows how the recruitment pipeline actually worked. Bounties paid per girl, cash incentives for recruiters, massage appointments as access points, a structural system for sourcing and delivering girls to powerful men. The question isn't whether the system existed. It's documented. The question is how deep it went and how many people paid into it. Mm-hmm. At some point, you have to stop looking at one predator and start seeing an industry. And so.
Yeah, and it's really cruel the way that they would take advantage of like poor girls and just get them in positions where they were terrified.
Well, they're telling them you're going to be a supermodel, right? You're going to be a world-class supermodel. And maybe they were, but that was not the intent of being recruited into this network. It was to be trafficked and used as a honeypot for blackmail, specifically about these girls, and satisfy their own evil needs to abuse.
I'm looking at the bottom here. Who wrote this? Says, by the way, I haven't said anything to the feds yet and won't as long as those USPS money orders keep arriving from Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center. Stop by, redacted, for your first free session of dynamic sexuality. Bring a friend or even a dozen. We'll make it worth your time. I'm Esther Cohen, Tizer Epstein, and I approve of this message. Huh? What is that? Any idea what that is?
All she had to do was send him a pint of Mormon blood every week.
Really?
Yeah. At first, Epstein was furious, but I pointed out that by staggering daughters every 8 years, he would always have a supply of ripe girls at his disposal. He brought me a house redacted, got my oldest daughter into redacted by donating $50,000 to their gender studies program. He's getting girls into college here, a gender studies program, and paid for my youngest daughter to attend. And all she had to do was send him a pint of Mormon blood every week.
What? I guess we're going to get into what the hell he's doing with Mormon blood.
We'll get into it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now where are we at?
Hundreds of pages in the Epstein files describe government mind control experiments. Mm-hmm. Buried in the Epstein documents dump is a massive file detailing directed energy and mind control technology used on people without consent, government human experimentation causing permanent psychological damage. And they're talking here about using the directed energy weapons on people, like voice to skull technology. And I don't know if you've ever seen testimony of people who claim to be targeted individuals. That's what I picture. They're using this technology to victimize those people.
Suffering from symptoms of nightmares, insomnia, extreme anxiety, graphic imagery while suffering from the nightmares, and in their sleep of being attacked, raped, or introduced to individuals they had not witnessed or encountered before during waking hours. Everyday life. Yeah. The Goy beam. Now, did you hear Thomas Massey say they literally had a Goy beam? The Global Obliteration Yield Beam. The Goy beam.
I haven't seen that, but I followed the Department of War every day, and they've been bragging ever since they kidnapped Maduro, president of Venezuela. They've been openly bragging. Like every other day, they post about directed energy weapons. So it's no longer a conspiracy theory. It's scientific fact from the Department of War that they do indeed possess these weapons and are using them.
Fairly certain that's what they did to Acapulco. Yeah, I mean, we knew that. But now it's all just like the spraying. You know, the spraying of the skies. That's a conspiracy theory. It's like, do you want me to not trust my lying eyes? I can look in the sky. I live in one of the driest climates in the world, and I can literally, me and my daughter one time were looking, I could see a plane going, and I could see the behind it, the precipitation disappearing, and then I could see another plane leaving a giant stripe in the sky that didn't go anywhere. And it's like, I don't need to be a scientist to know that those two aren't the same thing.
Years ago, like 15 years ago, something like this, I was working with a guy, and I was telling him about this geoengineering program, and he didn't believe me. And on lunch, we went out, and I was like, look up at the sky there. And they did it. They literally turned it off and turned it on, right? And I was like, and he's like, wow, I do believe they're spraying something. And I was like, yeah, you just saw it. Like way up in the sky, you could see the trail coming out, and it literally turned off, and then it goes across the sky a little bit more and turns back on. I'm like, see? And he's like, okay, I believe you. And I'm like, yeah.
Like, don't tell me condensation. It's not going to sit in the sky for hours in this climate that I'm in. And besides the fact that I've seen them at the same time going in the air. I mean, like, it was just, and sometimes they play around. I come out in the morning and it looks like tic-tac-toe in the sky. It's like, I feel like they're almost like they're screwing with us a little bit. They're spraying us like bugs, and everybody knows that now. It's not even disputed at this point.
It's saving us, Drew. It's saving us from climate change.
Oh man, I'm so thankful for.
We're going to spontaneously combust if they didn't spray aluminum, barium, and strontium heavy metals on us.
I know, right? It would be. Thank God for them. You know what I mean? All right, here we go. Here you go. What's this? We got another.
That's part of that same document. Just
okay.
Permanent. Just talking about the use of directed energy weapons.
So they're. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, it talks about the damage it does to people, all these different, creates anxiety, insomnia, fear of relationships. It's like hardcore mind control.
But specifically, what is this here? What are they doing here? Are they bringing them in a room and doing this to them, or is this something?
No, I think they're using electromagnetic frequencies to literally zap people, like you say, with a goy beam, if that's the terms you want to use. But yeah.
Oh my God, you're just the meme. You've seen the meme? There's like a person like watching like television, and it's some like psychological programming show, like tranny this or something. They'll have something in the image, and then the bottom there's a guy dressed like a Abad Lubavitch guy, and he's sitting in a TV truck, and the beam's going into the television. Is that what you're talking about, basically?
Something like that. Yeah, they have the technology. Like I said, if you ever listen to these targeted individuals' testimony, you don't want to ever get on that list, man. It's quite horrific.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I'm not going to live my life afraid, but
they beam voices into people's heads, the voice to skull technology. They sexually assault you electronically, like with electricity. They talk about, targeting genitals and all this kind of stuff.
Now, is this all Israeli stuff? Is this all?
I'd say it's U.S. government, honestly.
It's just so crazy, and people still want to tell me we live in a free country. It's just
a democracy. This is America 250, Drew.
All right, it's unreal to me. You're literally they're coming out. What's the bill they just passed with the cars, where they're going to have all the tracking and tracing in the cars?
15-minute cities, or no? The
car bill.
Every new vehicle is going to have the black box tracker system in it for our own safety, for the environment, Drew.
And you want to tell me about living in a free country? The average American works 6 months a year to pay the amount of taxes that we do, based on every time you buy something, every time you sell something, every time you do anything, you transact, you pay a tax. Not to mention your income tax to the state, the city. People want to tell me we're free. It's just it's the amount of the quality that the mind control is able to put over on people it's astounding.
Speaking to that, Drew, the late great Aaron Russo, America, Freedom to Fascism. Everybody should watch that documentary, and he breaks down all of the excessive taxation, the law that never was, and the foundation of the Federal Reserve.
All right, I'll put a link in the show notes. All right, let's keep it moving. Hey, by the way, thanks again for doing this. This is cool.
Thanks for having me on. It needs to be exposed wider. I'm censored. It feels like they let off the clamps. I don't know. They jerk my chain. The big tech does. You know what I mean? They give me some dopamine now and again. But anyway, it needs to be out there on a wider scale. This is speaking to his scientific links here. This wild chart maps out Jeffrey Epstein's close friends network from front and center, billionaires, and they go through John and Laura Arnold. It shows links with Reid Hoffman, Jared Kushner, Bill Gates, Leon Black, Barack again there, former Prime Minister
of Israel, Ehud Barak.
Land, yeah. They're funding what it calls pub smear, and so this is trying to control science and academia, like trust the science because it's published in a scientific journal, where this speaks to some of the corruption at pub peer behind the scenes, controlled by Epstein close friends network. John Arnold and Laura Arnold.
Is pub peer where you publish your journals and they get reviewed? Or they get what's that called when they get peer reviewed?
Peer reviewed, yeah.
But they're calling it pub smear, or you called it that.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so it's just a control mechanism. It's
pub peer. It's called pub peer, but but
it's a control mechanism.
Yeah,
it's for them to push their narratives and.
So don't trust. You better trust the science, Drew. Are you trying to kill Granny?
Trust the science. That's a Barnum statement, by the way. So is safe and effective. That's a Barnum statement.
Epstein's Epstein's scientific interests masked an occult agenda, eugenics as bloodline purification, transhumanism as immortality rituals, and abuse as sacrificial acts.
Okay,
And
so
that's
now we're
the
starting
point
to get,
of this document, actually.
so we're getting darker.
Mhm.
Eugenics is bloodline purification.
Mhm.
This is the way the Jew make money and make a fortune in the past 10 years. Selling short the shipping futures, let the Goyim deal in the real world. Oh, isn't that nice of him? Isn't that nice?
This shows you their mindset, right? It speaks to their mindset and shows you that they're not me and you, Joe Blow's, trying to work work at a job for an hourly wage. They're in a different universe as speculators, rigging up stock markets and all this kind of behavior.
Which none of this they can do unless they are parasites on our stuff. Like if they were left to their own devices and their own, like they were separated from the world, they could never do any of this stuff. None of it would happen.
I was told the founding fathers wore little hats when they signed the Declaration of Independence, Drew, by Mike Huckabee. Yeah.
Oh.
That's literally the narrative they're trying to sell now. Is there wouldn't even be a founding of this country unless little hats were part of it. And it's like, bro, the founding fathers were deists and Freemasons, and maybe a couple Christians in there, and the aardvarks literally had nothing whatsoever to do with it. But okay,
no, it's fascinating. Are you white pilled or black pilled?
What do you mean?
Like where this is going to go? I'm white pilled. I think we're going to win.
White? I don't know. I'm not the color test pill.
Do you think this is going to end well, or are we going to end up in the panopticon? How about that?
I think at some point, well, it's already self-evident for anybody that wants to see the tyranny they're rolling out on us, the technocracy, right? And by the way, I see it. Everybody should use the language that the Department of War uses for accuracy purposes. And I understand the technate was created back in 1930s. They've updated the language to the Greater North America. Okay. And that is the scientific dictatorship technate that a lot of people talk about. The Department of War language says the Greater North America. And so that is the language everybody should be using for current accuracy purposes. And I don't see anyone hardly out there in the alternative media, whatever, online, ever use the correct language. We always want to, the majority of people always want to go back to 1930 technate, right? And it's like, yeah, they had that plan. Musk's grandfather's part of it, all this, right? And so they're building that system, but the updated language is the Greater North America.
Well, this is why he was so interested in Greenland.
Yes, and Canada. And there's a quasi-secret drug war going on right now for anybody that cares to look at U.S. Southcom X page in Mexico, Central and South America. And they've taken over essentially every place but Brazil in South America at this point, with puppet regimes working for America and our interests.
Right. I hear a little tapping or something. Are you typing?
No, it's probably me fidgeting.
Yeah, that was what it was. All right, let's get to the next slide here. What do we got here? So, there's an email.
Just more showing their supremacy, their mindset about how everybody's bullying them.
Okay, so yeah, okay. This is an email that says, I don't know of any. They did a great job of closing most, at least for the Goyim. I am writing another anti-tax bill, screed. I don't know. Something about Goyim.
People need to understand that their mindset, where they're coming from, they look down on everybody. It's like they're the most racist that you could possibly be. They're supremacists.
It's tough when you, when the cult tells you are chosen by God, and that also everybody wants to kill you, and also since you're chosen by God, nothing is off the table what you can do to these Amalek that want to destroy you, the chosen ones by God. This is pumped into these people's brains from the time they can open their eyes. And so this is a very, very difficult situation that we're in, because the overwhelming majority, I want to get a shirt that says "Free the Ashkenazis," because there's Eastern European people that most of the Jews today are Ashkenazis. I like the Ashkenazi people. I always do. They're interesting. I like them. I've always enjoyed their company. They're funny. They're smart. But this death cult that tells them that they're the chosen ones and everybody else wants to kill them, and that's pretty much controlled by the Jewish power, the Jewish supremacist power, that, by the way, treats them just as bad as they treat anybody else. I mean, they can look at what happened during the COVID thing in Israel. Anybody can look at what the deal that the Zionist Jewish power made with Hitler. I don't know how we can go on like this.
You want to read that bottom section? That explains it pretty well, I think.
Where do we start?
Private communications. The bottom paragraph there.
Oh, the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. In private communications attributed to Jeffrey Epstein and associates, non-Jews are repeatedly referenced with mocking or derogatory language, reflecting what critics describe as a super macist mindset.
Supremacist mindset.
Oh my God. Sorry, dude. Sorry about the supremacist, super macist. I can't believe I just said. Supremacist mindset operating alongside the abuse itself. Several of the released emails show Epstein using the term goyim lots of times, meaning non-Jews. That's everybody, by the way, people. Everybody who's not in their club is a goyim, in a dismissive and contemptuous manner. In one exchange with AI theorist Roger Schank, Epstein refers to profits from shipping futures by writing about how the Jews make money. Yeah, we talked about that. Oh, moving down. Hollywood publicist Peggy Siegel asked Epstein whether an event would be 100% Jew night, to which Epstein replied, "No, goyim in abundance. J.P. Morgan execs, brilliant wasps." Okay, that's what he said there. He said, "No, goyim in abundance. J.P. Morgan execs, brilliant wasps." Sorry, I'm not used to reading stuff like this. In a separate message, Epstein accused a recipient of behaving just like the goyim you do not respect. Jeez. Okay, this is a farmer. This was a victim, right? Older testimony from Epstein survivor Maria Farmer adds further context. In a 2020 interview, the victim farmer said her abusers were motivated by an ideology of Jewish supremacy, citing a 1996 conversation with Ghislaine Maxwell. Am I saying her name? Ghislaine Maxwell, in which she was told she would not be served food in an exclusively Jewish country club. Farmer stated that exclusionary attitudes toward non-Jews were a consistent theme among Epstein, Maxwell, and their associates. Maxwell has long been widely believed to have acted as Epstein's handler or overseer within this broader operation. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So they hate us. They think they're better than us. All right.
You're just being antiseptic, Drew.
Yeah, I'm not though. Yeah, here's the email proving this. No goyim in abundance. J.P. Morgan execs, brilliant wasps. You're tapping again.
Got it.
It's going to be 100% Jew night. 100% Jew night? What about Jane Fonda, my new best friend? Nothing like an ex-Jew hater with a Jewish boyfriend to mix it up. Okay, yeah. So we get it's just emails I'm talking about. They're very aware of who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're very self-aware about it. It's
all inside joke to them.
But I thought we were a Judeo-Christian country.
No.
Turns
out the founding fathers weren't wearing little hats when they.
It's the only democracy in the Middle East. What do you mean? They're our bestest friend. What are we talking about here? You're out of your mind.
I know, but no, they're actually a tyrannical murder terrorist state, apartheid state.
What about Lindsey Graham? You tell me Lindsey Graham's going to lie to me?
I'm saying every politician is lying to you.
All right, let's see here. This is the way that you make money. Okay, we've seen this already. Hold on. So kind of. There's Epstein with a bunch of books in the back.
Talmud. That's the Talmud back there.
Okay. Talmud.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of books.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of evil. And there he is with a tit cake. Women's breasts.
That? Oh, my God. And then Epstein was a Jewish supremacist who mocked non-Jews as Goyim, and his elite Jewish network believed Jews were smarter and more superior to everyone else on earth. Here, I found, this is from Masha Drakova to Jeffrey, is that Jeffrey Epstein? Vacation?
Yeah. That's
okay. I found criteria to find smart people. The more Jew you are, the smarter you. The smarter you are, the smarter you. You said you're 98% Jew. You're very smart. My ex-boss is 78% Jew. He's super smart, less smart than you are. I have a close friend, business partner who's 99.3% Jew. He is crazily smart. We take all Jewish people. Sourcing can be done through relatives. Ask them to do 23andMe tests. Do a vet for everyone who's 98% Jew. Also, all of them are not religious. So they're not just not religious. They're actually in the dark. People say they're atheists. I think they're in the dark occult.
They are dark occultists. And their definition of being smart is not, you can do calculus, right? It's that you are a master manipulator and liar is their definition of being smart. You're a con man and you get over on people. That's their definition of being smart.
Well, you notice they don't use wise, they use smart. Big difference. Because wisdom wouldn't do that, but smart would. Smart and tricky. I guess this one's not going to go on YouTube. Never
trust sneaky aardvarks.
Should get a shirt with that on it. Have an aardvark with a little hat on his head. All right, here we go. This is a picture of some old guy.
James
Watson. Who's beside him? Is those young girls?
They're redacted. Yeah, maybe victims.
Coming for lunch on Friday. You're welcome. As you read, my Russian ambassador friend died.
He won the Nobel Prize for his discovery of DNA. That's why he's significant. As speaking to the eugenics experiments.
So he's over at Jeffrey Epstein's house having dinner. We've got some other people in the photo who've been redacted.
Mm-hmm.
They look like they could be adults, but we don't know how young. We don't know. He's old. He looks like he's in his 80s in this photo.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay, great. So the guy who discovered so-called DNA hangs out with Epstein. Now, we got to also be fair. A lot of these people have no idea. He's just some rich guy they heard about. He's a man about town. We don't know for sure, although the photo is not helping him, even though we can't see who it is. What do you think about that? Do you think they all knew? There's got to be people there.
They know what they're doing, yeah.
You think that, what was the guy? Peter Attia. I feel like he was young. Epstein's rich, bringing in girls. Of course, he was a degenerate, but he doesn't know the depth of Epstein. You think?
They all know.
They all know. All right.
Know. Nobody's getting a pass from me.
No mercy. All right. Okay. So
because you can't say out of one side of your mouth you're smart, successful, blah blah blah, all this stuff, but you didn't know that this guy is into some bad stuff at the very least, right? And why the hell would you want anything to do with him if you're a legitimate person with integrity? That's not part of this dark occultic blackmail spy world.
So even if you're not involved in that, if you had some semblance of integrity, you'd smell a rat. That's what you're saying. I agree with you. Yeah. Epstein was apparently also running DIY genetics experiments. Emails show him discussing embryo implantation, sperm modification, and biohacking with fringe scientists. Okay, hold on. I can't read all that. Well, that's great.
This is the same guy who told Prince Andrew he wanted to clone humans without heads for spare parts over dinner. He wasn't just trafficking children. He was actively trying to build a master race with his own DNA. Epstein wanted to be both the world's biggest pimp and the father of genetically superior human species.
You know, this is my understanding, this is a lot what Whitney Webb has been talking about. With this goes the pimping thing was the least of your worries with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Epstein casually discussing eugenics and human cloning over dinner with Prince Andrew.
And Katie Couric,
who, interestingly enough, just came out with this. Oh man, these people are just such scumbags. Do they think they're not going to die? They must not. They're either. How could you go in with a dark occult? Like, what are you gonna? I guess they think that they're gonna like somehow get transhumanist and live forever and never have to pay for this, or I don't understand.
That, or they do all the. That's part of all these rituals is the cremation of care. They believe that they're gonna deflect the karmic energy of their evil by doing some crazy rituals, and also trying to live forever.
Well, because she just came out with this video where she was like, "Oh, I'm so blown away. What's going on? All these people are dying from the vaccine, from the jabbo. What's going on? We got to get to the bottom of this." And I'm just like, "Are you fucking kidding me, man?" It's like, do you think I just forgot what happened a few years ago? You know what I mean? On TV, pushing that shit, trying to make people feel like shit for not doing it. Like, it's mind-bending, man. It's mind-bending. Do we want to read this? Basically, they're having a conversation about...
No, probably not. It's just speaking... And supposedly Katie Couric was, once she learned about what they're talking about, engineering human species, that she was offended by it, and she didn't want anything to do with it after she learned about all this evil.
Okay, so he says, Epstein says, right, Katie Couric was here and we were talking about, I want to start cloning things, me, and with certain people. Prince Andrew got upset because he was all, if I had a conscience, could you kill it for spare parts? And I said, I'll take it without a head. Would that make you feel better? And Katie Couric, I thought, was going to start to vomit. Okay, good on her. That they may evolve with a head or arms or feet so it couldn't get up and walk away. And did dishes, Jeffrey Epstein said. Oh, man, this is just... All right. An incest joke comes from right out of Epstein's mouth in this email. Let's see. Does that make it incest? How exciting. Or you can marry Princess Beatrice. The queen would have a queen as a grandson. What's going on here? Who's talking here?
It's redacted. You could see Epstein emailing, and it's redacted to Peter Mandelson. That's
Who's that guy?
That's a guy that got busted in UK. He was in the Keir Starmer administration. He was trafficking state secrets essentially through Keir Starmer's office to Epstein.
Oh, Mandelson. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Peter Mandelson. He's now, at least in the UK and Europe, the people that have been exposed in Epstein files, they're publicly shamed, forced to resign, and allegedly being investigated by those governments. Here in America, we just cover it up and laugh in everybody's face and call me if you question anything.
Subject line, eggs. This email's another window in Epstein's well-documented obsession with genetics, fertility, and controlling reproduction. Okay. Let's see here. Epstein planned to... This was this is an article. Jeffrey Epstein hoped to seed human race with his DNA. What? So he planned to impregnate 20 women at a time at his New Mexico ranch. He shared he's almost like Manson. He shared his scheme in a weird way with many scientists and elites, but there's no evidence that he ever came to life. The alleged goal to seed the human population with his DNA. If true, it also explained why he was interested in freezing his sperm. He's like, he wants to be like the next Genghis Khan, except for he wants to do it through blackmail and not conquer.
Mm-hmm. Because he's a sneaky aardvark.
Who is baby Jeffrey?
We don't know. There's references that there may be Epstein kids out there. We just don't know. There is no solid evidence of Epstein's offspring out there in the world still alive today. But there's many references to his babies. But it's also hard to understand because they speak in a lot of code as well. And we'll get to that later. We've deciphered some of that code. I think we can explain later in the slides. There's Peggy Siegel. She's a top Hollywood publicist. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is a picture of Peggy Siegel. Epstein stopped gun crimes, ban niggers, more murder. Duh. What does he say here? This article is extremely amusing in the sense that it just poses several questions relating to gun control policy when the author himself is the answer to his own questions. I don't know. More niggers equals more murder. Duh. Who wrote that? Epstein?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah. He's a supremacist. What does it have to do with her? What did she say? She says, "Oh, she's going to bring him." Oh, is this the next picture? Hold on. Let's see. Okay. So this is the email she wrote. On the plane now with Maddie, we're about to take off for Amsterdam to Nairobi. So he says we land in the morning. Let's see.
She's talking about bringing back babies to Epstein in this email.
Thank you enough. Okay, okay, hold on. Then it says saw Sarah Duchess, and I'm trying to find it. Where's it say it at?
The highlighted part right there. Bring a little baby back for you. Or two.
Okay. Or
boys
two.
or girls.
Coming to PB. What is that? To see you in Jan. Taking photos. We'll have a ball. Think
Palm
of you all
Beach.
the time. Palm Beach. Okay. Coming to Palm Beach in January. Taking photos. We'll have a ball and think of you all the time. Can bring a little baby back for you or two. Boys or girls. So Madonna. Oh my God. Who's this now? Epstein, this is a woman, a blonde woman. Epstein files reference Mette Marit, Crown Princess of Norway, in a private email exchange, and Epstein associate casually writes, she wants to carry your kid. This claim implies that Mette Marit, am I saying that right? Mette Marit was pregnant. The child could allegedly have been Epstein's. Okay. Who knows? Who's this woman? Know. Crown Prince of Norway? Why would she want to carry Epstein's kid? What is wrong with her?
Good question. Because these people are seriously mentally ill.
She wants to carry your kid. Okay. What is she, Mette Marit? She's some sort of royal Norway, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You figure Norwegians wouldn't want to mix with Ashkenazi. You know what I mean? You would think that. You would think wrong, wouldn't you? Ooh, that's a pretty girl. That is a very attractive girl. British biotech investor Nicole Junkerman asking Epstein whether he wanted to have a baby together. Will you have a baby with me? Where's the best place to do so? That's her?
Yeah.
Damn. That's an attractive girl.
Yeah.
At least from the head up. Birth babies for black market use. It's an email relaying an allegation someone claimed happened at Zorro Ranch. Okay, so this is from, we don't know who it's from. We don't know who it's to. Oh, John of God. Is that the guy from Brazil?
Yeah.
John of God cult leader.
Oprah propped that guy up.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey is big into the dark occult.
So, woman who accused John of God cult leader of rape mysteriously kill herself at Spanish House. I mean, I'm not laughing at her. This happened, her getting murdered. Yep. So, spoke of this going on at Zorro Ranch. She has said on record that Epstein offered her money to do this. Birth babies for black market use. Yeah, John of God was this crazy cult leader in Brazil who was involved in all kinds of this crazy, weird shit.
Same type of stuff Epstein was doing.
Same, like you said, Oprah was all into him.
Mm-hmm.
Someone, you know.
This is, by the way, Drew, this was my doctor during the bat times, and so he saved the world from bat bites.
Oh, we're looking at Bill Gates. Yeah, he's an amazing, he's a really amazing leader. We're so lucky to have elites that are this high quality. Yeah, we know Bill Gates is fucking wants to kill us all. There's something wrong with him, obviously, but like, Well, his father was the head of the Planned Parenthood. They're eugenicists, basically. They always have been. But it's interesting. Yeah, I can go on him. We'll keep moving. Everybody knows Bill Gates is a scumbag. What does he say here? I can't even read it.
It's hard to see there on the screen.
Yeah. That's Bill Gates. Bill Gates is, I don't know. We'll keep it moving. We've got a lot of slides to go here. Mark Landon. Masha Drokovic. That sounded familiar. Where'd that come from again? Oh, yeah. That was the Jews are the best thing. Yeah. Okay.
This is all
Yeah,
in
here we go.
the eugenics section, the supremacy section, right? It just keeps to reinforce the fact about their mindset, who they are, how they see you. And
they're very aware of who they are. Now, these particular people, and we're gonna call Jewish power Jewish supremacists. I think we need to distinguish. What do you think?
yeah. I don't think every aardvark out there has the same mindset, but I don't know. They get kicked out of every country throughout all of our recorded history because they are eating babies and poisoning the wells.
But the rank and file, just like in every other situation,
Ring and file Joe Blow, aardvark, no,
right?
But,
and they're victims. They're victims.
and I believe they're being set up as a scapegoat by the Anglo-American establishment right now because they know their mindset is bloodthirsty, kill all these Arabs, Palestinians, and they're letting them go about doing that, but they're going to be hung out to dry as the scapegoats for the genocide they're committing in Palestine and Lebanon right now is what I think they're being used for.
Well, every Jewish empire lasted 80 years, apparently. So I've been told. What's this? FedEx?
Oh, go back. That's just the receipts. Go back up to the.
Okay.
That's the receipts Epstein paid Ohio State University's head of gynecology quarterly payments, thousands of dollars, showing the corruption of institutions. And what was he doing with these genealogists? Part of his eugenics plans there to seed mankind with his babies, essentially.
Dr. Mark Landon, you can get an early life bio on that guy. Physician, professor, maternal fetal medicine. I think this episode's going straight to Rumble. Here's the receipts, the FedEx receipts. Let's keep it moving here. Oh boy. And Epstein victims weren't just teenagers, but included much younger girls. Okay, so the court documents reveal they were dealing with, I've been saying this, much younger girls than teenagers. Jean-Luc Brunel. That name sounds familiar. Give me 12-year-old
He's a French fashion guy, part of the modeling, the glamour modeling scene. So if you got in with him, you're going to be a supermodel, and that's what he was part of recruiting and abuse and part of the whole system. But if young female saw, if I got him good with this guy, he's going to send me on a path of success in the modeling world, you could say, because he was a high power guy in the modeling world, fashion world.
So what is this? I'm looking at. Is this an article or is this a report? What is this paper?
It's explaining the younger girls. They're 2 8-year-olds. They even say in there.
But what is it? What's it from?
It's from the Epstein files.
Oh, okay. But is it an email? What is it?
It's a.
Looks like an article or something.
I think it is an article. Yeah.
Well, it says basically Jean-Luc Brunel, this fashion guy, reportedly giving Epstein 12-year-old triplets as a birthday gift. Oh, God. One filing describes a photo showing prepubescent girl being assaulted by multiple men with graphic details of visible. Oh, God.
Because they tried to get the narrative out there that, it was just 17-year-old, barely, almost 18. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, it was little kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's no blurring the lines of 17 almost legal, which is still illegal until you're 18, the age of consent, right? But they tried to blur the lines with that narrative for a minute, and this destroys that narrative. No, it's tiny little kids, way below any. There is no confusion about it.
No. When you listen to Program to Kill, it's babies. We're talking babies.
Mm-hmm.
There's no bottom. There's no bottom. Whatever the most horrible, evil thing you can possibly imagine, that's part of the thing that they like. It's about taking power from the innocent. It's about abusing the innocent. Okay, so here we go.
Steve Bannon.
Steve Bannon.
He's a great right-wing conservative populist. He's a freaking scumbag who tried to rehab Epstein's image after he was a convicted sex offender.
Well, Steve Bannon is also, I'm sure not by accident, constantly talking about China, but never, ever talking about Israel. China is the enemy, China this, China that. What's what am I looking at here? Is it going to be in the next one? Hold on.
This is an email from Epstein to Bannon, and they're discussing that article about eugenics, basically.
There's more on Bannon, though, correct?
Mm-hmm. Taste about baby gene editing.
What does that mean? Like, you and I, we get an email or develop any kind of relationship with somebody and they start talking about this shit, like, or anything. I mean, you have to be corrupted in a very, very terrible way to even be involved in this conversation is I think what I'm trying to say. Right?
Yes, that's a good way to put it, for sure.
Because you're not going to get, even if let's say, you're not getting this far along in the conversation if you're not. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You're not going to accidentally fall into a conversation with Jeffrey Epstein about baby gene editing. It's not going to just drop it like you're talking about the Steelers or something. Okay, so hold on. What is this?
A victim of ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut off and left with a size miter.
What is that? A scimitar. What is that?
Scimitar. That's like some type of medical tool, I believe. Left no scarring on the yacht. He witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed, and individuals eating their feces and those intestines. He was also raped by George Bush Sr. That's a report that was never followed up on by the FBI, so it could be discredited.
So is this an email from the victim or somebody describing what the victim said?
I think that's the report.
It's all redacted.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a victim of ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut with a scimitar. It looks like a scimitar is this crazy knife, like an old-timey knife, sword knife type of thing. It looks like you know what it looks like? A kukuri from Gurkhas. It's like a curved knife, which is a really strange knife to use. It's like almost like a medieval knife. What is it? That's a weird tool to use. Middle Eastern, South Asian, North African cultures. So I apologize for that.
And it's part of,
go ahead, what?
It's part of the ritual, I believe, is why they're using it.
Yeah, it looks like it's a sweeping single-edged curved sword commonly. Okay. Yeah. So you know what? It's that knife and the guy swinging around in what's the movie with Harrison Ford? Where he's
Indiana Jones?
Yeah, the one where he's swinging around and he shoots him. That famous scene. That's a scimitar, I believe. All right, so here we go. That's a weird thing to cut somebody's feet off with. That's ritual shit.
Mm-hmm.
Witness babies being dismembered, their intestines removed. I mean, it's just, like I said, there's no bottom.
We're going to come back to that because we'll show how they're speaking in code about the baby intestines.
Okay.
It's a delicacy for elites to eat baby intestines.
Oh, that's nice. Like kind of like sushi.
Yeah.
Hollywood producer hyped blood transfusion to Epstein as age reversal. Okay. I'm a nervous tick guy. You're doing it again? It just messes up the sound for the audio podcast. Just
Apologies.
Sorry, yeah. You need one of those like wrist muscle things. Hollywood producer Barry. I know I hate to keep bringing this up, busting you on it, but it does mess up the sound. Hollywood producer Barry Josephson emailed Jeffrey Epstein about Dr. Aegis maybe, and young blood transfusions. All you need is a blood transfusion from the pack, and you reverse aging. Is he talking about basically getting kids' blood, children's blood here?
I think so. Or maybe having like a blood change, like they change out their entire, like you'll change the oil in your car. They change the blood out that way.
Well, I mean, giving blood once a month, especially for men, is supposed to be very good for you. Women, not so much because they have their periods. So it does like clean out your blood, apparently. I think they're talking about bringing in like young kids' blood. My guess, I suspect. Apparently, we're also running DIY genetics. Okay, I think we saw this one. Hold on. 48. All right, here we got Peter Thiel and what is this island? That's not Epstein Island, is it?
That is Epstein Island.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where's that weird building with the? The email sounds like Peter Thiel was no stranger to Epstein's Island. Epstein casually drops, if you want to come around the world going west, come to the island. Then invites him to come to the island while planning trips through Europe. Thiel replies, it's nothing. Should be back on the East Coast in late April, May, sometime in NYC or on island then. Okay, yeah. So Thiel's all wrapped up in this. We knew that, right? I always say Thiel is not a homosexual. He's a sodomite. Like, he's a kind of guy that's, this is my suspicion that he's the kind of guy just like rough, mean. You know, he likes it because it's degrading and mean. You know what I mean?
For power. He's doing it for the power move. The power move over other men, sodomizing them.
Well, there's like that famous serial killer, Carl Panzram, who claimed he wasn't a homosexual, but he raped over 1,000 men because he loved to basically take their manhood from them, you know? 1 million. Okay, so there's the email from Thiel. Because I was trying to create the first designer baby Epstein was trying to do. God, he's such a great guy. Maybe even a human clone within 5 years. He was working with biohacker Brian Bishop, and they were already taking funding, anonymity, and lab testing in Ukraine. Oh, interesting. Epstein said investors would need to stay hidden because the kid would be seen as a freak if people knew. They called it moving from garage biology to rewriting the future of the human species. All right. A surgeon known for performing sex change operations, including on teens like Jazz Jennings. If people don't know who Jazz Jennings is this poor child that was his mother, who's a psychopath, turned him into
It's one of the first ones they rolled out to sell this whole idea to the public, right?
Right. It's just, there's an awful video that I stumbled upon where apparently when they so-called transition you or they mutilate you and take they shave you as your boy, they take your cock off and turn it into a vagina. Mm-hmm. You have to like go in there and like lube it and stick stuff in there to keep it so it doesn't close. I hate to get disgusting with people, but he wasn't doing it. The former he, and she's like screaming at him, "You needed," and it's just in a serious world that woman would be facing serious. Well, it would never happen in the first place, but
it's really a wound. It's an open wound, and they're trying to treat it as a genital, and it's not.
My God. I'm getting like this kind of stuff. Like I start to get like physically sick. Okay.
Yeah, it pisses me off too, man. To no end.
Yeah, it's
that this is allowed to go on, and we're supposed to say, "Oh well, yeah, it's just It's their choice. What are you, some kind of, hardline conservative? It's like, no, this is clear abuse from whatever perspective you look at it. And it's wrong.
It is. It's like the digital. It's just satanic. It's subversion, because it's basically that the body that God created you in is not the right body. We're going to fix it here on the material world. And my friend Jason Christoff had a documentary called Planet Mind Control. Everybody should watch that, especially if they're not familiar with this kind of stuff. And he talks about that and how when you have a child and you tell them they'll be safer and get more attention for something, they're going to do it. And that's exactly what they're doing with this trans shit with these kids. And you're going to be protected. Anyways, yeah, it's really going after the kids is so important to this kind of a dark occult thing. The children are really important to them. Okay, what's this? Russians FM. What does that mean?
Foreign minister.
Foreign minister. Soon as Father exposed what he calls the true face of the collective West, pure Satanism. 2 men casually arranging bionic penis surgery for a sultan. What? Sultan wants to replace a bionic dick with new Swiss version. What the fuck is this? You're joking, I hope. Nope. Goyim. So there you go. The Sultan is a Goyim as well. Okay, this is where it gets into. Will you read this? Because this is where it gets into this supposed cannibalism thing, right?
Francis Darby, you'll find a New York chef linked to a tiny, ultra-exclusive spot called The Cannibal. That's a restaurant. They were training Epstein how to make human beef jerky at this restaurant called The Cannibal, and they go through that's what these emails are about.
So where was the restaurant? Do we know?
New York.
It's called The Cannibal?
Yeah.
No, this is the one that everybody tries to kookify people with. This jerky claim. Is it, do you take it literally?
Yeah, I take it literally because it's mentioned numerous times. Go to the next one. They're making human beef jerky, essentially.
Okay, let's see. Just wanted to touch base about jerky. Jeffrey Epstein, J.E., said he was going to start eating regular food again, so he might be eating less jerky. That said, he has 6 bags of it in the downstairs freezer for his next trip. I believe it should be enough to get him through. Any other questions, please let me know. Thanks, you, Francis. That's the chef. Epstein staff tracking his jerky. So it's a weird thing for them talking about jerky. Do we miss something in the previous one that we should have gone over?
Just he was getting trained how to cook at the restaurant called The Cannibal.
So the jerky, them talking about it makes you think there's something fishy about the jerky.
Yeah. Why are they obsessing over jerky?
What is this here?
Reid Hoffman.
Reid Hoffman. Yeah, he seems like a real good guy.
He's the founder of LinkedIn. The big, big tech bastard,
Oh, yeah.
Jerkygate. Epstein had entire teams running nonstop to make sure he never ran out of jerky, while staff genuinely freaking out over shortages. And that's what these emails are discussing.
Can you read them, or they're kind of hard?
Yeah, it's hard. It's small on the screen.
Yeah, people can see it. Or they can, they're listening. They're going to take our word for it.
See, here it talks about he was taking cooking classes at the Cannibal. And that.
Is there ever a mention of human flesh?
No, it's always a code jerky. They don't explicitly say that. And
also, remember, we're seeing 3% of this.
But I believe they speak heavily in code because they know what they're doing is illegal at the very least, and straight up evil as well. But they know it's highly illegal what they're up to here now.
Jerky preparation. They don't mention humans, but they also don't mention cow meat either, or chicken meat or anything. All right. And we're on page 50. Epstein, Harvard professor Mark Nowak. This is another email. What is it? What are they saying here in this email? This is Epstein, Harvard professor Martin Nowak or Nowak. What's going on here?
Code breaking an arms race and push toward iLife. Epstein responded asking what happens if you compete with your offspring and a mutation in the offspring leads to your own death. This is the same professor who sent Epstein a PDF labeled Time Traveler years later.
What is this all about?
Part of their experiments discussing it. And we get into the cream cheese here now. Should I drop off your cheese around 3? And I believe that when they say cream cheese, they're referring to the intestines of babies is what cream cheese is code for.
Why do you think that?
Go through a little bit more because they reference it.
She's right. He says around 3 or leave it at 3:01 for someone to pick up. At this point, no one can doubt that they are talking about. Okay, that's you. Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay, so hold on. Epstein files reveals a strange cheese obsession and nipple fetish. I wish I was joking, Epstein. I said no cheese 4 times, sender. You keep searching and pinching my nipple. Hold on. I'm frustrated to think you're going to do no. Support of any time. Cheese. Though I say cheese. What is going on here? Try to hurt by scratching and pinching intentionally. I'm not trying to irritate you. I don't know. Cheese and nipples. Email.
There's cottage cheese in the left door. Also some hard cheese and some cottage cheese. Hello? DOJ, something tells me the sender is not a victim. And see, it's redacted because they're part of this whole
So why would they write emails about cheese? Why would he be telling them about cheese? It's weird. It's definitely weird. And it's highly, highly unlikely they're talking about actual cheese. What's this one here? Another email.
Just
cheese
more about
again. Cheese. Another email about cheese. Wow. More cheese emails. Okay. Vegetable cream cheese. There are millions of babies, very little good vegetable cream cheese. This is an email. Laugh out loud. I don't know if cream cheese and baby are on the same level. It's okay. There is still enough time today. I'm trying to schedule priming for 5:30, fuel explosions, 9. I don't know what's going on here. I'll bring a new Edge and startup video. I don't know what that means. From Jeffrey Epstein, there are millions of babies, very little good vegetable cream cheese. What is that? So that's where you're getting your baby cream cheese thing? I don't know if cream cheese and baby are on the same level. So he's saying basically that most baby intestines aren't that good.
Mm-hmm.
Robo mosquito. So he's going to build a robot mosquito, Epstein?
This is in there, Spy Tech, Robo Mosquito Spy Tech, a mosquito-sized drone designed for surveillance, allegedly able to carry a camera, microphone, collect DNA, plant RFID trackers, reportedly funded by the U.S. government as a Epstein request.
And people still, they've got mosquito drones that can fly and collect your DNA. This is the kind of shit that scares me. And people want to tell me that we live in a free country. That's
Drew, it's America 250. Come on, man. Where's your flag?
Somebody needs to hand these drone mosquito people a copy of the goddamn Constitution. That'll stop them.
If you just read the Second Amendment to them, that'll scare them off.
Yeah, whatever. Hold on a second. This is a violation of the Fourth Amendment, buddy. All right.
Abuse as sacrificial acts. And do you want to read that? Because this is an excerpt from 1984, George Orwell. And I think this speaks to their mindset and can help the listener understand. You want to read that excerpt?
No.
No?
Long. From you read it.
Okay. This is, again, an excerpt from George Orwell, 1984. Everybody should read that if you're not familiar with that work.
Or watch the film. It's a great film, actually.
How does the book is even better. How does one man assert his power over another, Winston? Right, and that's being talked to about how the torture going on there. Is
this the way? Before I cut you off, is this the final scene in the film? Basically, what's that famous actor? The old time actor that was in that. What is his name? He used to be.
This is their interaction during the torture.
Yeah, when he puts the cage on him with the mouse, and it's kind of towards the end of the film. Yeah, but go ahead.
How does one man assert his power over another, Winston? Well, like you were saying, Peter Thiel's sodomizing men potentially for that to gain that power over others. Winston thought by making him suffer, he said, exactly. By making him suffer, obedience is not enough. Unless he is suffering, how can you be sure that he is obeying your will and not his own? Power is in inflicting pain and humiliation. Power is in tearing down human minds to pieces and putting them together again in new shapes of your own choosing. Do you begin to see then what kind of world we are creating? It is the exact opposite of the stupid hedonistic utopias that the old reformers imagined. A world of fear and treachery is torment. A world of trampling and being trampled upon, a world which will grow not less but more merciless as it refines itself. Progress in our world will be progress toward more pain. The old civilizations claimed that they were founded on love or justice. Ours is founded upon hatred. In our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement. Everything else we shall destroy, everything. Already we are breaking down the habits of thought which have survived from before the revolution. We have cut the links between child and parent, between man, and between man and woman. No one dares trust a wife or a child or a friend any longer. But in the future, there will be no wives, no friends. Children will be taken from their mothers at birth as one takes eggs from a hen. The sex instinct will be eradicated. Procreation will be an annual formality like the renewal of a ration card. We shall abolish the orgasm. Our neurologists are at work upon it now. There will be no loyalty except loyalty toward the party. There will be no love except love of Big Brother. I love Trump and MAGA. There will be no laughter except the laughter of triumph over defeated enemy. There will be no art, no literature, no science. When we are omnipotent, omnipotent, we shall have no more need of science. There will be no distraction between beauty and ugliness, no distinction between beauty and ugliness. There will be no curiosity, no enjoyment of the process of life. All competing pleasures will be destroyed. George Orwell, 1984. And that's why I support Trump and MAGA, Drew.
It's an interesting, some of that stuff in there that you kind of see happening the destruction of the family, the destruction of the collapse of our birth rate, the flattening of the attempted flattening of the sexes, sort of like flattening of the races, the flattening of all culture, the flattening of history. It's interesting. Hey, can you give me? Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
A world of fear and treachery is torment. A world of trampling and being trampled upon.
Yeah, that's it. That's us. Mm-hmm. A world which grows not less but more merciless as it refines itself. Again, I don't think they're going to win, though. I'm white-pilled on this. Hey, give me 10 seconds. Hold on 1 second, all right? Pause.
Pause. Continuing here, I guess we're recording. Everybody needs to check out Drew's great work, Jones Plantation. Everybody needs to go to Weaponized News. Let's see. I guess we're recording, so he'll edit this part out, maybe, hopefully. But the reason I included this in the Epstein files was to speak to the overall bigger, larger mindset of the occultist and the way they want to take the world. Are you black-pilled or white-pilled? I don't know. That's a good question. I never really thought about it. I just keep marching forward here now, and thinking and hoping that at some point in time, enough people will just say, no, we're simply not complying with this tyranny. It's just absurd. But are we going to get to the point where they roll out the digital money system and the mark of the beast, essentially, and you don't have a choice, right? And so you either be part of this system or starve to death. And so that's the trajectory that we're on here now. And they won't call it central bank digital currency. They will use another name, but it will effectively have the same function.
Thanks for holding it down. I appreciate the shout out to the film too. I can hear you. I got my headphones on. It could be, what was in the way I see is that we're basically living in a brave new world, but as soon as you question things, then it quickly becomes 1984.
It's like the Venn diagram of every dystopic novel, right? Every big famous one, and they're all overlaid now.
Yeah.
Brave New World. Go back and read Brave New World. I've read it once when I was younger and once a couple of years ago. They have coded, Huxley has coded language in there. He has, one of the characters is Rothschild in Brave New World. Like, he has
I gotta read it again.
He has key character name. Like, you have to read it with the mindset of this is coded language for those in the know, in the secret society. It's speaking to the general public on one level and to those in the know on another level. And once you can understand some of the secret coding they're using, then you can decipher it and get a whole new understanding about the message they're putting out through these dystopic novels. 1984, Brave New World, two of the most famous examples, obviously.
Well, what do you think about George Orwell? Because his name's not Orwell. He had a different.
Yeah, Eric Blair. It feels like, well, he was an insider in the Fabian Socialist there in the UK, and it feels like he was trying to warn about their plans for this scientific dictatorship.
He also fought for the Reds in the Spanish Revolution, or the Spanish Civil War. Sorry, but maybe, I don't know. It's interesting how almost prescriptive this is. Yeah, because he was trying to warn us. I mean, the mayor of London, that Sadiq Khan, he is a card-carrying Fabian socialist.
So it's Keir Starmer, the prime minister, that just resigned.
That's right. Well, that is what we're living in right now.
And that's the slow march, right? The slow march, because you had the two competing sides of these communist socialists. The revolutionaries are the Fabians, right? And the revolutionaries said, just whack everybody and we're taking it now. And the Fabians said, that's not the way to hold on to power. You have to do the slow march through the institutions and take it over that way rather than just whack everybody and say, I'm the boss with the big gun now, right?
Well, the revolutionaries were the Marxists, basically, and the Fabians were the surreptitious.
The slow guys.
Basically, Marxism in first gear is what they're doing.
There you go. That's a good way to put it. But now they've arrived. They are in those positions of power. That's right.
All over the world. And it's kind of the I don't know. I was going to tie it to Jones Plantation.
Well, their logo's the wolf in sheep's clothing, right? So they tell you.
It's yeah, and Sadiq Khan, they have these meetings. He's like, oh, people have a bad impression of Fabianism. It's da, 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 da. He could just be a dupe idiot. We don't know. But you're not getting into these positions of power if you're not willing to play ball, because they'll just kill you. Under the current regime that we're living under.
It would just be a coincidence, Drew.
I mean, you look at the COVID thing, there were like 3 leaders. There was that guy in Africa that tested the...
I remember they whacked the presidents. They wouldn't go along with it because Operation Lockstep.
That's right. And the guy that tested kumquats and it was COVID positive.
He was a biologist. Yeah, I forget his name, but...
They killed
he's like the PCR tests are bogus, and he's like, look, I tested a goat and a papaya, and they came back positive for the alleged virus. So yeah, and they whacked them for that.
It was actually a kumquat. I like that distinction because that's just a funny thing. The kumquat it was tested positive for COVID.
There was like 3 or 4
he was a great
African presidents that said we're not going along with Operation Lockstep, and they said, oh yeah, well you're not long for this world.
That's right. Great men. They stood up. And,
but the bat time speaks to Operation Lockstep. All of these governments at the very highest levels are working together through secret societies, I do believe. So the whole, Russia, China's going to get us. Really? At the very top level, they're all in the same secret society working toward the goal of one world government and total control.
There is, whether it's, we don't know exactly what the fabric of it is. There could be multiple societies. They could be competing, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, they want a one world, centralized, tyrannical. It's basically technocracy, economically, and then communism socially for us. And basically small group of leaders and the rest of us are slaves until they get the robots. They think they're going to get the robots going and kill us all. It's interesting because Elon Musk.
Georgia Guidestone said 500 million, right?
Yeah, that's right. And that thing got destroyed, which was weird. But Elon Musk is always tweeting out about how great the robot's going to be and we're going to have infinite abundance. And I'm like, there's no way you're just lying. Right? I mean, there's no way you're not lying right now. Like, you have to know you're lying. Like, why are you... it's like that to me, of all the things he does, that's the one that really goes, that guy, because there's no way he actually believes that. You're going to sit here and tell me that the same people that caused all the world wars, that killed 100 million of their own people in the 20th century without the wars alone, all the same people that did the COVID, they're just going to get robots that could kill us all, and they're going to use them for human flourishing. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? They don't ever do anything for us.
Terminator without the time travel was a documentary.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you think they're going to get the robots going? I don't see it. I don't think it's going to work out.
They've already weaponized. There was a report I reported last week, a claim made in Ukraine 2 years ago that an autonomous weaponized drone killed Russian soldiers on its own.
Well, I know they're starting to program it because I went and watched this Italian director. I can't remember his damn name. He's the best director in the world. I got to get his name. Hang on. But anyways, he did a film, his last film, which wasn't that good. It was actually a euthanasia film. It was pro-euthanasia. And at the end of the film, I'm going to have to remember. It's not Antonioni. It's, what is his name? Wait, hold on. But at the end of the film, the guy's like this great. He's a statesman. He's like the president of Italy, and he decides to quit early. And of course, they like glorify the president of Italy, and so he decides to walk home because he lives right there in Rome. I think it was in Rome. Yeah, it was Rome. And when he walks out of the government building to his house, they have this really weird shot where he's being led by one of those dogs. And it's Paulo Sorrentino. That's it. Paulo Sorrentino. Just as talent-wise, the best director in the world. He's a master. But his last film was and I can't remember what his last film was called, but and so they're walking out, and he's got his guards beside him, but in front of him is in front and center in the shot, very, very prominent in the shot, is this one of those robot dogs. And it's basically getting us to be programmed to see these rulers guarded by these robots, and that's normal. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we just used to seeing them, guarded by robots. That's just a normal thing. La Fortuna was called. La Fortuna, I believe. No, I'm wrong about that. Wait, hold on.
See, it's the race right now, right, to replace humans who may have independent thought with robots that are programmed that they know will have no independent thought. That could potentially revolt against the quote elite rulers when when they finally had enough, their own human security have finally had enough of all of their evil. And so to take that possibility out of the equation, replace humans with robots.
100%. And his last film was called La Grazia. Sorry about that. La Grazia. But that's exactly right. So instead of, we're going to get robots instead of like low IQ cops.
Because even they may have a crisis of conscience and turn the gun on the quote, ruler.
Well, it's like that scene in Casino when the guy, he might have been compromised, and they're like, the bosses are sitting around and they're going, Andy would never rat. No, Andy's solid as a rock. Andy would never rat. And they get to the last guy and he's like, Andy's a great guy, but why take any chances? You know what I mean? Hey, most of the cops are going to obey, but why take, if you can get robots, then you don't have to worry about it anymore, right? They have no thought. All right, this is the next slide. What is this photo? Famous artist pitched Epstein on decorating his house with semen and blood artwork. Oh, God. Not only will they look amazing, you'll have something worthy of a museum. So he wants to make paintings with semen and blood?
That's one of them, yeah.
Andre Serrano. Okay. Is that him?
Yeah. Very talented artist making paintings with semen and blood. Like, how do you even? I don't even know how you go there, but that's what these guys are about. Like, I would never even think of such a thing, right? But
Sam, when I edited Jones Plantation every day, I would cover myself in semen and blood before I sat down on the computer. Hold on. So, I'm thinking a piece should be done for the space and not try to fit something in. Okay, so this is the artist writing right here?
All bodily fluids. You could see from him to Epstein, yeah, in the email.
Okay, well, that's not the artist, is it? It's him.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about your monumental staircase and something of mine. It would make sense and look spectacular. So I'm sending you 6 signature pieces. These are Serrano classics, in quotes. Imagine an artist calling his own stuff classics. Mm-hmm. All bodily fluids. 2 of these, semen and blood, are the piss picture and the piss picture were used by Metallica as album covers. Oh, that's good to know. For Load and Reload, because Metallica admired them so much. Oh, there you go. They're all sickos. Oh, okay, great. They'll look amazing. All worthy of a museum. There's where the art scene is at this point, by the way. Here we go.
And there's the titles, yeah.
Bloodscape, the titles of the so-called paintings. Bloodscape, Semen and Blood 3, Blood and Bowden, Blood and Soil, Blood and Semen 4, Piss and Blood 8. Well, he's not very creative with his names, is he?
They can't get enough of the blood and semen.
Couldn't you say something like Sangra or something interesting?
This is the mind control right here. These trumpet plants. Have you seen this?
Okay. We have a picture of a trumpet plant. No, go ahead.
Angel's trumpet allegedly what is it called?
Scopolamine.
Scopolamine. So angel trumpets produce scopolamine, also known as devil's breath. That's a drug that wipes memory and makes victims completely compliant.
Huh. Now, is that... Hold on a second. What's the... in Colombia. Have you ever heard of this?
Yeah, same one. This is it. This is the drug.
I know a guy that happened to him who lived in Colombia.
Is it real?
Oh, fuck yeah, it's real. He said he was in a bar. You got to be careful in Colombia if you're going to go anywhere.
Hell, be careful in America.
Well, in Colombia, what they did, all it does do is get near you. So, like, if you're like an American, you're sitting in a cab, a guy can ride by on a bike, and he said he was having a drink, and the next thing you know, he woke up on a street curb, and his wallet was on his chest. By the way, I know another guy got robbed I know, anyways, it's another story. And everything was gone, and he didn't remember anything. But you can wake up missing a kidney. Yeah, that's a real thing. That is a real thing. That scares the shit out of me. That would be crazy. It's just that, so a lot of times you're in a situation you shouldn't be in. Maybe you're like at some hooker bar or something in Colombia, and they put the stuff on you. There's a video online of a hooker getting arrested in Colombia, and this American guy's like with the cops. He's like, "That's her." It's like the next day. It's like, she gave me, whatever they call it. They call it something else there. And then she took my wallet. She took everything, and they actually arrested her. But yeah. Anyways, so this is the drug that they're using now.
Well, they're discussing it in the Epstein emails.
Okay.
Right there.
My trumpet plants at nursery?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, great. That's Epstein's nursery? Trumpet plants?
Well, you could see Epstein emailed Anna Rodriguez asking about it.
Tancredi Marchiolo. That's an interesting name. Hedge fund partner. Discuss what to do with a woman they were planning on. Oh my God. So he's a hedge fund guy, and they're talking about what to do with this woman they're going to have dinner with, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He said,
do you want me?
Go ahead.
Oh, it just said, do you want me to try to do her or just torture her?
Hit on her. What would you like me to do with your friend? Huh? Yes, master. What's this? Bring lots of toys. What is this? Do we know?
Girls are making money.
Bring lots of toys. Just more Epstein shit. What's this girl? Kathy Rumler.
She was a former top attorney for Obama administration, and she is currently a top attorney for Goldman Sachs, and was upon the release of these shamed to resign or be fired. But now I've seen reports she's wasn't fired, and they are keeping her on there at Goldman Sachs as a top lawyer. So apparently Goldman Sachs is not shamed to have Kathy Rumler, complete psychopath, as one of their top lawyers.
Well, you say that she recently resigned as Goldman Sachs top lawyer. Did she sign back up again?
Yes.
And she said Obama's former White House counsel.
Mm-hmm.
She said Kathy Rumler to Epstein on May 2015. Supposed to get tortured again by Uber Jew endentist at 5 p.m. on Thursday. What does that mean?
She's like, the sadomasochism, leather whips and chains, and that kind of
endodontist. What is an endodontist?
A torturer.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. No, what is an endodontist? Some type of doctor. It's a medical specialty, I believe.
She could be talking about teeth work here.
No.
Why not? Supposed to get tortured again by endodontist Uber Jew. So she might just have a dental appointment.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Could be. You got to be, you know what I mean? But she's still involved with these people. Search our memory erased with Tech MIT lab director. So, okay. So Tech MIT, I've heard about this guy. What is his name? Joy Ito. Yeah, this is the guy. Isn't this guy all involved in the Bitcoin and everything too? Oh, anyways.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Let's see what he said. Hold on. Many transmagnetic simulation is the device, much work done in using it for trauma amnesia. You told me about the technology that you tried where they erase your short-term memory. Is this work published? Which lab is it? So
see, they want to erase the memory because they know the victims are stacking up and there's too many out there. And so they got to they got to erase the memory of all the abuse that they're doing to these victims, or they're going to be exposed as they have been here now.
Yeah, and then we talked about how they recruit and here, let's keep going. Yeah, we saw this one earlier. Now, what is this? This is like a massage table picture. There are 30 images of girls being abused at this New York City mansion with identifiable features, and says investigators were contacted. The most insane part of the scandal is how much evidence existed while everyone important somehow saw nothing. Now, what am I looking at here? It looks like
that's like a torture table chair.
I mean, it looks like a massage table, though. Where's the torture part?
Keep going.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. I don't know. What's this letter?
Does not watch news, does not know about any of this from television or news shows. Dr. Sybil told Silberg told her that there was news about it, but she said that she did not look at it, stated that any memories she recalled were from her own mind and memory, not from any other source.
There's a story. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was saying that just talking about the rituals that they're doing and the mind control, trying to erase memories and implant false memories as well.
Who is this Jennifer Freeman signed this letter? Do you know? Who is she? Do we know?
I don't know. I haven't looked into her, honestly.
Okay. There's a storehouse of additional evidence about the abuse of redacted, including names of other adults who were at the New York City mansion. Redacted has approximately 30 images showing the abuse of a girl who looks strikingly like redacted, some of which include identifying features in the images we continue to work with. All this shit is redacted. We suspect that some of the evidence we have may relate to current abuse happening to children, which we are happy to discuss with you as well. All right. So he's... Oh, man, that's a long one. A housekeeper's grandson claims his grandmother took hidden memory cards from Epstein's Manhattan home containing photos, videos, and audio files. This material includes child porn. ABC reportedly declined to receive the material. Fox verified its authenticity, but allegedly said it would only publish part of it. And the family claims they were pressured by lawyers to turn it over. If this is true, what? Okay. Yeah, so we knew this. They've got tons of...
That's the blackmail material.
Yeah, and it's all been... You can't just... I use this analogy all the time, and I don't think I invented it. But it's like if you're living in a town and you can see this, there's this like criminal group that's killing people and burying them in the cemetery. And you go, oh, I'm going to go. And you go to the police station and tell the cops. But what you don't realize is the cops are in on it too, and the whole thing is one network. Guess what? You're going to end up in the cemetery. So as bad as this is, we realize the whole network is in on it, and this is what we're ruled over by. You're better off knowing this so you can at least move through the world with some truth, right? As bad as it is, you got to know.
Be aware, man, that if you go right to the cops, they're most likely to turn their guns on you, is all I'm saying. Don't trust the government about anything ever, okay? Down to the freaking mailman.
That's right. You go to the police or the news with this kind of information.
They may just whack you.
You're going to end up killing yourself. You're going to end up killing yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
They're going to say, "Meet me by that fountain," and you drowned in that fountain.
Who knows what they'll do? All right, what is this now? Referred to as Maxwell could be interviewed about. What is this one about? This is some sort of weird document. There's some weird Hebrew letters, it looks like to me, in a computer.
Where are you at? Let's see here. There appears to have been and continue to be a connection between some of the predators and Ukraine and Russia. It's provided with phone numbers, just more about the network, I believe.
Okay.
Garbage. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? We are waiting.
Okay, so they're waiting for. Okay, so it's just trafficking network stuff is what we're looking at here. It's not, and is that Hebrew? That is Hebrew, isn't it?
Looks like it.
Looks like it to me. And then an email in the Epstein files alleges another email. Attorneys were torturing, abusing victims through settlement manipulation. It also includes a murder allegation and directly accuses Pope Francis of complicity. One person's account, not part of the public record. This is this guy Marciolo again. Yeah, okay. The Vatican was involved with Epstein. Correct?
Yes, indeed. I believe it was this Pope they're talking
Pope Francis.
about. Pope Francis, there's pictures of him blessing Epstein and Maxwell.
Oh, that's great.
See, they said they're sorry for all their evil, and so we need to forgive them, Drew. They got a blessing from the Pope.
There's a photo of a hanging. By the way, that's obviously a doll. That's not a person, correct?
I believe that is a art, not a real person. Yeah, but
okay.
That's
you art with quotes around it.
Speaking to the degeneracy of just the whole Epstein world, it's just like, who could step into that world? And if you're not some evil, sick, demon-possessed person, then you would automatically call the police. You would automatically do something as you know what I mean? You would.
Well, hold on.
Something.
I'm going to step on that, but I thought that person was hanging. She's actually just climbing down the rope or something.
No, I think it's a depiction of hanging. Yeah, weird hanging art decoration.
When you look at the guy that used to run the Democratic Party, Podesta.
Yeah, well, same type of thing. The Podesta emails, right?
Well, no, but also that artwork that him and his brother had.
Yeah, same type of thing.
One of them was a woman, this little girl who was like
deviant,
under 3 years old.
Art. Yeah.
What was she was under 3, or she was a baby? She was abused or whatever. She ended up in a mental institution and made drawings and paintings about what happened to her, depicting the things, and it's the most horrific when you know that happened and she wrote about it, or she communicated it through her paintings, her artwork.
We have some of that at the end of this, yeah.
Well, it's his favorite painter, and he has it in his house, and he had like a party, and he invited people over, and I'm going, I show up at my neighbor's house, he's got that hanging on the wall, we're gonna have a problem. Mm-hmm. At the very least, I'm going to be extremely on guard about that guy. And I'm also going to be going, what the fuck is on your wall? And why is it there?
Drew, my question is, where's all the tough guy cops? Right? You're back the blue. You got the authority of the state for your monopoly use of violence. Where are all you big tough cops with the guns? Bro, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's if you listen to Passio and he was a Satanist, he said there's tons of those guys at those meetings that they'd have.
Sure.
He said there's a lot of cops. He said because we used to laugh at the cops and make fun of them because we'd make them be guards and just sit back and we were eating and we just laugh at them and call them idiots, and that's what he said.
Sure.
Oh, this is where it gets very, very dark. So this is
Drew, how the hell is Howard Lutnick still the sitting Commerce Secretary of the United States right now as we speak?
So this is a picture of a dentist office, and it has heads like almost like masks. Yeah, they're heads, but they're like cut behind the ear, and they're hanging all over the walls. Are they all Howard Lutnick, or is just one of them Howard Lutnick?
No, one of them's Howard Lutnick. The other one looks like Ted Cruz. a bunch of different.
That does look like Ted Cruz. You're right there.
There's a bunch of, and so I believe that they're using this as part of dark occultic satanic rituals, some type of MK Ultra style trauma-based mind control, while you're strapped to that chair and drugged up, and they're in robes around you chanting, doing whatever crazy ritual they're trying to induce, whatever mind control experiment they're doing on you, or ritual to make you, break your personality through the trauma.
I heard, and this is a horrible thing. I heard or read this recently I think I kind of blocked it out, but they would put young girls in there and pull their teeth out so they wouldn't bite when they were being raped.
I've heard that as well. That multi-use. There's multi levels, multi-use for all of this stuff.
It's like a Swiss Army knife for MK Ultra. Yeah, it's very weird that Lutnick guy. I listened to this interview with on Tucker Carlson. Whatever you think of him, he does good interviews. Hold on. And he interviewed a guy named I'm gonna have to pull it up real quick. We're almost done here, guys. This is a good episode, man. I appreciate you taking the time doing this again. But I want to bring this up. This guy's name is they call him the Merchant of They call him the West named him the Merchant of Death to tag him, and his name is Victor Bout. He was the guy.
Russian?
They exchanged him.
I remember.
Yeah, and he went on. He said, "This is a battle between good and evil," because he was talking about the Ukraine thing. That's about to heat up, and he's like, "They are leaving us no option here." It's a really interesting interview. People should listen to it. But he describes it as a battle between good and Satanism, and the dark occult and pedophilia and all these other things that we're talking about right now. Because you don't think they know all about this shit and way more than we do? You know what I mean? But then I hear that
doing it. Yeah, the other one's doing it. Hell yeah, they know what they're doing.
But then, when you try to do the whole Russia's the good guy thing, and then you realize that, I don't know enough about it because people say shit. But I've seen Putin with the Chabad Leibovich guys, but who knows what's going on there. So, it's, again, I don't have any hope in the ruling class fixing the ruling class. That's for sure. Okay, an empty one.
I think I had a couple blank pages there on accident. Keep going. There's
here's a close-up of Lutnick and who else is that? Who's that guy?
I don't know.
Well, they do look, those two guys look like, this is obviously Lutnick.
It's a very striking resemblance to Howard Lutnick, right? Our sitting Commerce Secretary.
If it's not him, it's certainly inspired by him.
Who didn't, by the way, he didn't show up for work on 9/11 at his offices for Cantor Fitzgerald, and literally his whole company died that day because him and a select few were the only ones that didn't show up. The rest died when the World Trade Center collapsed. Howard Lutnick, as our Commerce Secretary, overestimated tariffs by 40%, and the Supreme Court has ruled that Trump's tariffs are unconstitutional. He bet against it, knowing they would fail, and profiteered off of these tariffs. This guy is so corrupt, so criminal that arrest him right now, FBI. I mean, if I know all this, you guys can have plenty more evidence than what we have here publicly available. Arrest Howard Lutnick now.
Not going to happen. They're not.
I know, FBI, but it should.
In a serious country, he would not. It really makes you wonder, man. That guy on the top with the closed eye, was he some sort of, who knows what that was? And this guy.
So Lutnick originally denied going to Epstein Island. Then it was that was one of the games they played because they released a photo with him and Epstein on Epstein Island. Then the DOJ redacted it. Then they put it back out. And Epstein said, "Oh no, I never met him." Or Lutnick said, "Oh, I know nothing about it." Then he goes 180 the other way and's bragging about taking his family vacation on Epstein Island.
So you tell me he lied? No, come on.
I'm telling you, they play every game, every angle, every lie. They're professional liars, right? And so we can't even think of this stuff because we're not in that mindset, but it's amazing.
It is amazing. Is this guy supposed to be somebody or is just a close-up?
These are just all the images that were released of the masks.
I just wonder if it represented something.
I'm not claiming to know. You may recognize or think who they are.
Oh, wow. What a creepy... What's this now? In the Jeffrey Epstein files, there's an email that made it in an FBI tip that says Joe Biden is an actor wearing mask and the military is developing quantum systems to break up crime. While parts of this he's incorrect on and he's a smug asshole about, he's not wrong about Biden. So you think Biden... I think there was multiple Bidens. I do think that.
I think they all have body doubles and...
They definitely have body doubles. There's a movie called Devil's Double. Have you ever seen it about the Hussein's, one of his sons had a body double.
And the CIA rolled it out. It's on freaking mainstream YouTube years ago, like 5, 6, I don't know, maybe even 10 years ago. Those masks.
But there was like multiple Bidens. There was like a different Biden. There was the one guy who was really out of it.
Shorter, different attitudes. Yeah, it's very bizarre.
But it also would be masks and actors fucking with us because why, if they were going to have doubles, why would they have retarded dementia patients? Like, why would they act? You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to get a double for Biden, why wouldn't you just get somebody sprightly and make people think that the guy's still?
I believe it's part of demoralization, mockery, rituals.
Yep.
Humiliation rituals.
Yeah.
This guy he's now resigned, but he was. At the time of the Epstein files initial release, he was U.S. Secretary of the Navy.
U.S. Secretary John Phillips was listed in Epstein flight logs. Brunel also committed suicide by hanging himself in prison after facing multiple rape. Okay, so Brunel killed himself. Jean-Luc Brunel, the fashion guy. What happened to this guy? He just went off in disgrace?
No, not even disgrace, really. I mean,
he got a raise.
He went into the private sector, I guess, revolving door there after he killed a bunch of people in the Navy. Then he said, I'm going to step out and go into the private sector and make $1 gazillion killing more people, essentially.
So he's in like the weapons kind of mercenary business now thing? What's he doing?
I don't know. Honestly, I haven't followed him, but he was until about 2 months ago, he was head of the Navy.
All right.
Appointed by Trump. He was appointed by Trump. I think that's key.
Oh, and he was in the flight logs just as a passenger.
Yeah, he didn't know anything, but he was on the Epstein Lolita Express multiple times. He's an investment banker, is how he got into the whole scene there, I would suppose.
All right, what is this? Passenger manifest. Oh, there he is right there. Jean-Luc Brunel, John Phelan. Yep. Trump picks John Phelan, a business with no military experience, as Secretary of the Navy. This happened pretty recently, right?
This is this current Trump administration.
Is he still there?
No, he's resigned.
Yeah, you said that, didn't you? Sorry. All right, let's get going here. What is this? Epstein didn't just rape children. He turned it into a horror show. Survivor claims Epstein attacked her in 1984 when she was just 14 after drugging her so badly she drifted in and out of consciousness, and when she came to, his face was painted like a clown because apparently being predator wasn't okay. Okay, so
that's speaking to this trauma-based mind control, the chair, the clown outfits.
Also, they had the clown face in the dentist chair room.
Yep. And this is the last one talking about the victims able to depict it through art, right? Their abuse.
This is Maria's Farmer painting depicting the elite, question mark, of course. Yeah, I call them the D-elite, but whatever, you know what I mean. The lowest of the low. Survivor Maria Farmer's artwork shows Epstein. So she painted this?
Yes.
Oh, my God. They blocked out some of it. They redacted some of a freaking painting. So we can't even get this painting on our own, huh?
I don't think so, no.
But there's a guy in the main figure in the painting is a dude with one of those black squares of Saturn on his head with that ribbon wrapped around his left arm.
Mm-hmm.
And then it looks like George Bush with his like cock hanging out. Is that what I'm seeing?
Maybe. And it looks like maybe Al Gore, maybe Bill Clinton.
On the bottom left there, kind of near that kid that's redacted.
Yeah.
That's probably they redacted it. And then there's the guy in his lap. I'm trying to figure out who's the guy. Was that Reagan? I don't know. Who the hell's that guy sitting there?
I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, and he's got the cube of Saturn, and there's blood all over the walls. I mean, it's just, oh man. Updated list of what is this? This is the last page. Updated list of high-profile resignations linked to Epstein files as of February 2026. And then we got Thomas Pritzker, Kathy Rumler, that one you just talked about, Larry Summers, the Sultan. There's a bunch of people in here. Casey Wasserman Talent Agency. Announced agency sale of emails with Maxine and Jet Travel. So people did suffer, right?
Some people at least were publicly shamed enough to be fired, and you would expect, in quote, polite society to be shunned. But I believe the network's hell of a lot larger than this, and these are just the people that I guess they felt too much heat when it came out and said, we got to step back from public life here now because we're going to be constantly confronted about our Epstein relationship, but
they also could be like just kind of low tier, kind of what the mob calls associates, low level associates.
Yeah, adjacent, you could say.
Yeah.
These are like some low level dudes they threw out there. So yeah, we got all the bad guys, nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? But yeah, these are just low level types as well. That can also be part of it.
Not in life now, keep in mind. You got Larry
No,
Summers,
but I'm saying in the grand scheme of all the evil.
Right. In the grand scheme of this, they could be.
They could be.
We never really, we don't know. But yeah.
We don't know. But they're at least ones that suffered some public consequences for what has been exposed in the Epstein files.
Because you would think if they got caught, then they can't be too involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you would think that.
But as we leave here,
so the point I want to make, Drew, is that the Department of Justice is continuing they're violating the Epstein Files Transparency Act. A judge just ordered them again to release it yesterday, the remaining files they have, and they're not complying with a court order and the law. So they're literally, Todd Blanche, Trump's former personal attorney, is literally breaking the law right now as he's campaigning to be made attorney general. He's acting interim attorney general right now. He's quite literally the biggest criminal in the country at this point. And that's our soon-to-be attorney general, Todd Blanche.
And he's going to replace that blonde woman. What was her name?
Well, he has replaced her. He's acting, but hasn't been confirmed.
What was her name?
Blondie Bondi. I don't know why.
Bondi.
Why do you care about any of this, Drew? The Dow Jones Industrial Average is above 50,000.
What? That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's really important to me. Well, it's again, the 179 Club. The Department of Justice is where the criminals are. Well, I was going to say, this. I think that's what I was going to say. I had something I want to say when we were going to leave, and I forgot now. It wasn't the 179 Club, but I don't know. Yeah, the Department of Justice is where the criminals are. Everything's upside down.
When are we going to get another film from you, Drew?
We're working on Crazy Eddie right now, the script.
Crazy Eddie, huh? Crazy
Eddie, yeah. It's going to be. Go ahead.
I know you said you're white-pilled. Where are you at with your whole? Where do you put yourself in the scheme of everybody? Because they want to put everybody in a box, right?
Okay.
Or, give you an identity. Where are you politically identifying here now, if with anything?
I'm lost. I don't know. I mean, if you say peel back the onion, I think anarchism or voluntarism is the most moral and
true. I would argue that if you see what's going on with the ultra-Zionist settlers in the occupied West Bank, that is the version of anarchy they sell us. that if we have anarchy, then there's just going to be maniacs running around burning and killing people, burning people's houses down and killing them. That's what they're actually doing, but they're not on their own. They're backed up by the state, the IDF, essentially. And so that's the bad version in my mind of what anarchy would look like, is what the ultra-Zionist quote settlers are doing to the Palestinians in the occupied West Bank.
Well, I was going to say that said, it's not.
That's the idea they sell us, right? That, oh my gosh, if we have no government, then there's going to be warlords, roving bands of warlords, a la Road Warrior, and everybody's going to, be in this Road Warrior type scenario. And I just don't see it actually playing out that way.
Well, the human race is not at a level of maturity that they could ever have a voluntarist society.
We have to be told what to do by somebody, huh?
At this point, and unless we develop something that is sustainable and impenetrable, and that I don't mean physically, like it's got to be a mental thing, because we are the overwhelming majority. Okay, these are tiny. It's a big club and you ain't in it. I don't think so. I think it's a very, very small club and you ain't in it. And until we develop something like that is part of our consciousness, where they could not penetrate it, we're going to constantly get duped over and over and over again.
But we see this problem: psychopaths, because they lust after power and control, always rise to the top to be the leader. So how do we not have psychopaths be our leader?
I'm going to throw this at you because I'm very embryonic thinking about this now. I know a little bit about AA. And AA, a lot of so-called anarchists hate it because you have to call yourself an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. I'm so-and-so. I'm an alcoholic. Mm-hmm. But they don't understand that AA is actually the only large-scale successful anarchist organization that's ever existed. It's in almost every country where there's alcohol. There's tens of millions of people, and it is 100% a voluntarist organization that sometimes the court orders you have to attend. Well,
you get a DUI.
That's a different thing, and that's actually also not just AA necessarily. That's another money scam, because I've gotten DUIs like most Americans, and that's, you go to these sort of alcoholic things you have to pay for, and the judge that orders you to that one gets a kickback from the place.
DUI school, basically. Yeah, it's a racket. Yeah,
and then sometimes they throw in AA meetings in that, but that's not. AA
okay, I get you. So the pure form of it is all voluntary.
That's right. It's in the bylaws. So they have the 12 steps, which is your program of recovery. Then they have the 12 promises, which protects AA from the alcoholic. And in the 12 he mentions his anarchist, the guy who wrote it, Bill. He mentions the word one time, but he's very careful because that book is kind of divinely inspired, and he wants to get people in the door. Mm-hmm. It's all about alcoholism. But the most important thing about it is the program of recovery. And that's what I think, and I'm just getting started with this. I think the human race needs a program of recovery. I don't know what to call that. Of what? It can't be statism, because that's corny. It's got to be something that they can recognize in themselves and know they have a problem. So the problem with so many anarchists and voluntarists out there is they see it, okay? And that's just your foot in the door. Doesn't mean you can live a voluntary life. You're nowhere near that yet. But they like to go around and assaulting people that don't see it. That's a problem for me, okay? We need to lift people up and open people's eyes. But without a program of recovery, we're going to constantly be getting in these situations over and over again, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I can see. And nothing in history contradicts that statement.
Don't we need some type of truth and reconciliation for what they did during the bad times? I mean, everybody just wants to act like, oh yeah, forget what happened, when they locked the world down and told you, if you don't do what we say, you're going to die and kill your whole family. Like, that was extremely traumatic for all of society. And yet we just act like, oh yeah, I guess Fauci was a bad guy, maybe, and let's move on. It's like, no, we can't move on until we deal with that trauma that we all suffered together and continue to suffer, because there's giant side effects still to this day of course, from the miracles, from the lockdowns. It feels like a generation of children were very badly damaged with the old lockdown. So I think we still have a lot to sort out there in our recent traumatic history of the state tyranny upon us.
Well, it's right now humanity is an active participant in its own enslavement.
Right.
And
because if there was no compliance, the state could never implement their tyranny.
No. And people like, this is like the one guy to me that's just like the epitome of what you just said is that Pierce Morgan guy. He was on there talking about Lukovic, how people should be locked in their homes and put in prison and they doesn't care if they die and all this stuff. And then when it finally came out and it was all over, he just went, hey, I made a mistake. Sorry, I made a mistake. He'd like half-assed. And it's like, no, motherfucker. If you were around during the Bolsheviks, you would have been throwing priests into graves alive. You would have been pouring metal down people's throats. You would have been burning churches and killing nuns. It's the same thing, but in a
French Revolution, you would have been guillotining the freaking
right.
The local shopkeeper.
Nazi Germany, you've been throwing your hand in the air just like everybody else.
Right.
You would have been in the front of the line. But he's even worse. He's like a capo in the camps. You know, he's a propagandist for this thing, and it's just the fact he's out there now like nothing happened. He's this great free speech person. All these people go on there. Thanks, Pierce. I really like you too. And it's like,
you don't get a free pass for your past transgressions against our natural rights.
That's just, it needs to be. He needs to be called out for what he can be forgiven, but he's. But
not. He has to be genuine. I would say I do agree in redemption and forgiveness, but you have to be genuine, and you're not still playing the game onto the next psyop. And trying to gain credibility by saying, oh, I was wrong about that. But hey, let me tell you about aliens or whatever BS is coming down next, right?
Yeah. But like I said, I mean, you might like listen to me and think, what the hell is this guy talking about? but a program of recovery for humanity is, if we have any chance, and we may not, even though things can get better. And I think
you told me you're white pilled. Why are you white pilled?
Well, I'm just honest. It's like I'm open-minded. But I am white-pilled. I just did an interview, my last interview with Cameron McGregor, and he's very white-pilled, and he thinks that we're going to have, which is just another moment in our history, and then we're going to go into a new kind of civilization, a new organization, or a way we organize ourselves. And it's
they keep saying they, as in all these big geopolitical power players, that we're in a new era, a new world order. They announced it after this year's Davos, after the World Government Summits meeting and the Munich Security Council. Multiple high-level presidents, prime ministers, foreign ministers from Russia, China, Canada, America, all over the world, right, have been saying the same thing. We're in a new era, a new world order for like the past 2-3 years here now.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's really since 2020. They started.
Well, they said the new normal, right?
Great reset. The Great Reset.
We're still in the Great Reset. People forget about it, but they launched the Jimmy Savile's best friend, the King of England, King Charles, launched the Great Reset, and we're still in it right now.
Well, who is the guy? Was it the king? I don't follow these people, so I'm assuming it's the King of England, the prince who said we're going to have digital ID, and their last little like occult ritual that the British did with the royals. Did you see that? Mm-hmm. And he said his number one thing, or he was one of his mandates is we need digital ID.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why the fuck is this guy sitting on a throne with a golden?
That's King Charles. King Charles, King of England.
Charles. Yeah, he's sitting there with gold everywhere, and he's talking about digital ID. Like, what the fuck? What is going on here? This guy's not in a cult? I'm supposed to believe that?
No, it's an agenda. It's clearly an agenda.
Bro, they shut the entire world down in 5 minutes. Oh, they were all in on it. Everybody, everywhere. Colombia. I mean, that was one of my biggest bummers about the World War COVID was the fact that a lot of the third world was in on it. I always thought the third world was one place you could go and actually have some freedom. When I mean third world, I mean South America and Latin America. That's what I mean.
They're all at the top level. Operation Lockstep, as written by the Rockefeller Foundation, pretty much laid it all out. how they would act during this time, and they did. Everybody got in line or you got whacked. And so that should break any illusions that anybody has that, like you're saying, oh, there's rogue Russia out there, rogue Colombia or wherever, of they're freedom fighters. Well, maybe the people, but at the top level, they're all in it together.
Well, I guess before we get out of here, you got to say something, anything positive you want to leave us with? Something good enough?
No, on this, don't let Trump, don't let Trump ruin your America 250. We need to celebrate America's 250th anniversary here now of signing the Declaration of Independence against the UK, and just simply a big solution is not non-compliance. A non-violent solution is simply do not comply with a lot of their BS, because they keep rolling out BS after BS after tyranny after tyranny after tyranny, and try to trick you and con you into this is mandatory, and just simply say no. I'm not going along with real ID as one example. There's many, but we're going to get to a point where they say you have to comply with this digital ID, digital banking system, and once we do that, it's game over. They'll lock you out of the system. It'll be the mark of the beast. You can't buy and sell, and so on. And so we should definitely not comply when we get to that point. And we're rapidly approaching that point. So simply do not comply.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate what you do. I appreciate you coming on the show. And I don't know what's wrong with us, why people like me and you exist, why we can't just go along and have a decent life and go to the coffee shop and drink our gory slop. I don't know what's wrong with us, but here we are. So we'll keep doing we'll do what we can do. Stay white pilled, baby. USA 250.
I'm gonna have to bring you. You got to come on my show, Weaponized News, Drew.
Anytime you want.
And we'll do a deep dive into the Jones Plantation and some in your newest work.
That might be fun. Nobody's done that yet. Go scene by scene.
I think that would be really good. Actually, deep dive into it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, thank you very much, Drew.
Have a good weekend.
Again,
thanks, man.
Happy 4th. Don't let all the tyranny, corruption get you down. Have fun with your family, and safe and sane fireworks. Don't blow off your fingers this weekend.
Yeah, don't blow off your fingers. I had a friend I grew up with that had blown his finger off with a bottle, with a homemade, not a bottle rocket. They called it something. Anyways,
be safe with your family, and I believe that we can overcome all of this nonsense. Because Drew, like that meme, the propaganda would not be necessary if there was no chance. So they have a 24/7 machine pumping out propaganda to convince you that that whatever, the government are the good guys. And so they wouldn't even need that if they really were the good guys. And so they're working overtime trying to convince us that they're the good guys. And it's self-evident at this point that they're not. And we can simply shun them by not complying with their tyranny.
When it changes, it'll change quick. I mean, if you went and did a poll on people in the Soviet Union, and I think it fell in 99, correct? Or 89?
Something like that, yeah.
I think it was 89, actually. And asked people 6 months before it collapsed, is the Soviet Union going to be collapsing in 6 months? I guarantee you the overwhelming majority of people would have said you're nuts. Same thing with slavery in America. If you went around 1855 and started asking people what they thought of slavery be gone in 15 years, they'd be like, what? So I don't know. Stay white-pilled, people. Thanks, brother. Thanks for coming. Weaponizednews.com?
Weaponizednews.com, yep.
All right, peace. Bye.
Good night.
Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me on Twitter if you want at Tregsman with 2 G's and an S, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Drew Media TV. We also have a Rumble channel, Drew Media, if you prefer there. I know a lot of people don't like YouTube. Also, if you're listening to the podcast, like on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever, if it's not too much of a pain and you like the show, give it 5 stars so we can get some help from the algorithm. Otherwise, all the other links to our social media will be in the show notes, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.